styles. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPE, and also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
Good evening, listeners, and welcome to Liberty Hill Football and KMAX Sports Vype Media Network. Tonight, the Liberty Hill Panthers go on the road tonight to play the state-ranked Hutto Hippos, and this will be a ball game. Listening to Craig Way earlier on the radio, he counted down his top 5 games of the week in Central Texas, and this Hutto Liberty Hill matchup was his number 1 matchup tonight. And Greg, both of them state-ranked schools, we're in for a barn burner tonight, and I sort of joked around, first 1 to 50 wins.
First 1 to 50 wins. Tim, we're out here, beautiful stadium here in Hutto. Out in the stands, Tim, with the people.
No, we're with the people.
As the Liberty Hill team runs out into the field, Tim and I out in the open air here, ready for this game tonight. Beautiful night, 2 ranked teams. Tim, air versus ground. We're going to see it tonight. Hutto going to attack through the air. Obviously, we know Liberty Hill going to come at him on the ground.
Yep.
Should be a battle of 2 opposing styles of play. We're going to see who comes out on top.
Right. And, talking to Coach Walker earlier this week, he commented about the key to success for the Panthers is keeping the Hutto offense off the field and eating up clock with their offense, with their own offense. And do you agree with that?
Absolutely. When, you talk about a battle of styles, especially when it's pass versus run like that.
Right.
The guys that want to run the ball, they want to stay out there a long time,
right,
wear down the defense. The guys that are passing, they're going to score quick. That time is going to go off the clock really quick. Tim, it reminds me, you remember long ago we called that game Liberty Hill against Brownwood. Casey Paha, quarterback for Brownwood there. I think he went on to play for TCU. Threw it all over the field. If I'm mistaken, Tim, 7 touchdown passes he had that night. They lost 56-49. That's the kind of game that we could be in store for. A battle of styles, like I said, but you harken back to that type of game, and really, if we look back and we say that's the kind of game that Chase Griffin is going to have, see if he can match wits.
Well, Chase Griffin is he is already a verbal commit to UCLA and a quarterback, and that's saying something. And the national anthem is to be played, and we're going to take a quick pause as we also honor America with the national anthem. Just moments away from kickoff of this highly anticipated football game now between the Liberty Hill Panthers and the Hutto Hippos. And great call on the Casey Paha reference. You came from left field on that one.
You think about a passing quarterback coming against this Liberty Hill team. How many other quarterbacks did what Casey Paha did that night, Tim? It was just absolutely amazing to watch.
Right.
Even better, Liberty Hill came out on top. We were in for a treat that night.
Yep.
The ball was flying all over the field. Late interception by Paha gives the game to Liberty Hill. So maybe that same thing. The defensive backs for Liberty Hill are going to be under pressure tonight.
Right.
We saw it last week. They had to deal with the flood from the Glen Grizzlies. Got a couple of interceptions, right? A couple of pass defended. They did really well when they finally recognized what was going on. Initially, a lot of guys wide open, but as the game went on, you found that space closing, and you found those guys getting on top of receivers where they needed to be.
Well, Liberty Hill has definitely played their share of Goliaths in the past, and tonight it is a little bit of a David and Goliath. Hutto with twice the enrollment of Liberty Hill, and therefore, numbers-wise, they have twice as many kids to choose from. So the captains for Liberty Hill are going now on the field, and that's Kyle Harrison, White Cheney, Mason Ogle, and Jacob Schofield, who played fullback last week and did an outstanding job at fullback and had an injury, and I've heard that he possibly is out for the season, and your heart goes out for that kid because he's a senior.
You hate to see somebody go down with an injury, especially someone like Schofield, who was, one of the heads of that Liberty Hill rushing offense, and he ran hard all game long and blocked well. We talked about them blocking for each other, so it is. My heart goes out to him. You hate to see your high school football career end with an injury.
And the saying goes, next man up.
And that's how it works here at Liberty Hill, especially. And we saw it last game.
Sure, we did.
And just a lot of guys coming in. Maybe they only had one or two carries, but when they get that one or that one carry of the game or the two carries of the game, they make the most of it. And with the way this blocking scheme works, and the way this team practices, and the way that they get about things, Tim, you're right. Next man up, get in there, run the same thing, run it as best you can.
Interesting, Coach Walker, you talked about the blocking schemes. Coach Walker said, until he went into grading film this week, it ended up being all the linemen graded out great. He didn't really think that was going to happen. He said it's actually one of the top grades he's given out as a lineman, in all the games he's done.
Tim, in the first half, if those fumbles had not happened, and that ball had hit the turf, and a couple of those passes may have been caught, you're looking at another 21 points easy. So yeah, give the credit to the big guys, Tim.
Sure, they did.
Give it to the big guys because they deserve it, especially in this Liberty Hill offense, because they do run such a it's fast paced, and they are getting on people quick and making them opening up holes for their backs.
Well, we're going to see right away this powerful Hutto offense come onto the field as Liberty Hill is going to kick off. Liberty Hill is in their away white jerseys, purple pants, purple helmet, and the gold LH on the side of the helmet. Hutto is in their traditional burnt orange jerseys with white numerals, black pants with the double stripe down the side of the pants in that burnt orange, black helmets with the classic Hutto emblem, the big H on the sides of the helmet. And it's going to be a interesting return here right off the bat as Caleb Forrest is back deep for Hutto, and he returned a kick last week, 96 yards for a touchdown. So you know that Liberty Hill is aware of that. Matthew simply set the kick off, and the kick is away from the 40. It is a nice kick back into the end zone and out of the back, and Liberty Hill is not going to give them a chance to return the ball.
We saw it last week. Shipley perfect on his PATs, and his kickoffs were exactly like that out of the end zone. He has got a leg. I cannot wait to see him line up to kick a field goal, Tim. I wondered how far it's going to be.
Probably longer than you and I, that's for sure.
Oh, my goodness, Tim. I don't know if I can make a 10-yarder.
The Hutto offense is coming out on the 25 new kickoff return rules. That's where the ball comes out. And two wide outs to the left, two wide outs to the right-hand side. And Chase Griffin back at quarterback. He is surveying the offense, giving a clap. The snap is back. It is a handoff right up the middle, and he's bunched up. Going to be taken down for a loss on that play. As Chuck's Wabaku carried the ball for a loss of 1, maybe even 2 yards.
Low snap and Overpiller in the backfield really quick, along with his teammate Walker Beatty. Again, those guys had great games last week, and they're starting to right off where they left off.
All right, we only have a second, and we'll call it 11. A long 11, snaps back. He's looking left. Griffin throws it downfield, complete. A little bit short of the first down. It was complete to Dejon Harris, a pickup of about 8 yards.
Tim, tight spiral coming out of that pass. That was a beautiful pass. Set up and wide open in the flat, but just the style of throw on the money.
It is 3rd and 2. Big third down. Let's start this game off. Man in motion going around that side. It's going to be handoff to the man in motion. Trying to get wide. Liberty Hill's trying to stop him. He gets the edge a little bit. He has enough for a first down before he's run out of bounds about the 40-yard line. And
sorry. Yeah, good job there by Liberty Hill to stop him from going for more. They ran that jet sweep. Picked up the first down.
First down for Liberty Hill. The ball is actually at the Hutto 39-yard line. Ball's on the right-hand hash. 2 receivers to both sides of the formation. Snaps back. He looks left. Completes an incomplete pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
With the rock and fire that Griffin has, you're going to see that play a lot all night. Harrison wide open. Dejon Harrison was wide open, but that ball was moving too quick and just went right through his fingers.
One of the top receivers, Caleb Forrest, number 8, is lined out to the right all by himself. It is 2nd and 10 from the Hutto 39-yard line as we just have gotten underway here in the first quarter of play. 3 receivers out to the left-hand side, flooded to the left. 4 defenders out on the left-hand side. It is a straight drop back looking downfield across the middle for Forrest, and he catches it in Liberty Hill territory at the 35. Actually, pretty good coverage on the play, but Forrest was able to make that catch.
Caleb Forrest, great catch across the middle on a dime by Griffin.
Up the line, runs really fast, thrown out to the left-hand side, and he's hit hard as Dejon Harris was trying to catch it, and he was hit pretty hard at the point of contact.
Tim, I think that was a lateral. They didn't give him enough time to get on that ball, but they were on it quick. They saw that play before. Coaches must have said the same thing. They're ready for that play all game long. They jumped on it quick.
2nd down and 10 at the Liberty Hill 35-yard line. 10:25 left to go in this first quarter of play. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball's on the right-hand hash. Chase Griffin in his shotgun. Now there's 3 receivers to the right, empty backfield. He's surveying, looking around, maybe changing the play. Takes a snap, looks right, completes a short pass to the right. Picks up a few yards, maybe a pickup of about 5 to the 30-yard line.
Just like a long handoff to the right and the left side. We've seen it now 3 times in this first series. They're going to keep running until Liberty Hill can stop it.
There'll be a pickup of, actually, it looks like he ran out of bounds a little bit more. A pickup of about 3. 3rd and 7 from the Liberty Hill 32-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. 1 guy in the backfield. Snap back, looking left, throws it down deep field into the receiver, and incomplete pass intended to Trey Pinelli.
Press coverage by Montez on the outside, and you could see it coming. He was out on an island all by himself. Right. Griffin dialed it up as soon as it happened. 1 move, and he was out in the clear. Good coverage by Montez.
Brings up 4th down right now, and Liberty Hill is needing a big stop here as they're going to go for it. Ball's on the Liberty Hill 32-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 1 running back in the backfield now goes in motion to the right. Straight drop back, looking left, under a little bit of pressure, looking downfield, throws it, finds a complete receiver at the 20-yard line, still on his feet. Picks up a couple more, and Liberty Hills brings him down at about the 17-yard line, and they had good pressure on the quarterback, but a really good completion for Hutto to get that first down and get down to the 15-yard line.
Great pressure on the quarterback. Defensive backs did their job there for the first 3-4 seconds, but after that play breaks down, it's tough to cover them.
Ball's set at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Chooks is the running back in the flat, and it's a screen play, but it's dropped by Dejon Harris, and will bring up 2nd down.
Tim, a lot of these short passes now in this first series, setting up longer passes later on. So you're going to see them break out. Right now, a lot of short passes to the right. That was a nice little short screen to the left. Unfortunately, it was dropped.
They're flooding both sides of the field with receivers. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 running back. Chooks in the backfield. Takes the snap. Griffin looking out, throws to the left to Chooks, and he gets it. He's juking around. He's trying to get to the outside really quick. He does get to the edge. The touchdown for Hutto. They had him tied up, and Chooks went all the way to the other end of the field and made it into the end zone.
Wow. Speed on the reception. He was dead to rights as soon as he caught that ball. Slipped a tackle, slipped 2, and then he found his way, picked up a blocker on the right side, and he's into the end zone.
Well, the defenders were in the right spot initially. You know, they were there. They just couldn't get him wrapped up. He's so quick. He was able to get out to the edge and around the defense. The extra point try is on. The kick is up, and the kick is good by R.J. Price. And it will be 7-0 with 9:24 left in the first quarter of play. We'll be right back. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end
Bad
zone.
snap again. He hits the turf, and Delmar scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins
corner on the end zone.
10, 5, touchdown.
We are the largest. We are the best. Bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here in Hutto, the Hippos lead Liberty Hill 7-0 with 9:24 left in the first quarter of play. And Greg, it actually doesn't feel so bad right now.
No, it's real nice out here. Now that the sun's gone down, it's not beating on us like it was before. Good thing you brought an umbrella out. Keep
That's
us in the
right.
shade.
Yeah, I was going to start singing some Mary Poppins songs. She had the umbrella out there a little bit, and so. All right, we're getting ready for Liberty Hill's first possession of the game. Hutto is set up, ready to kick off from their 40-yard line. Back deep is Kyle Harrison, standing about his 12-yard line. The kick is away, and it's going to be a short kick, caught at about the 18-yard line, and trying to pick up a few yards, cuts back inside, gets across the 30, down to about the 35. That was returned by Wyatt Cheney.
So we talked about Wyatt Cheney last week.
Yep.
14 solo tackles, 20 total. He was all over the field.
He was. So Liberty Hill's fixed to come out. They got the ball at their own 34-yard line. Little handoff to right up the middle. No, yeah, up the middle, a couple of yards on the play, and I think they lost us too.
It happens. You know what happens.
Kyle Harrison on the carry, pickup of about a yard. Bring up 2nd and 9. Coach Walker said he really liked to run this fast offense, Greg, that they're slowed up a little bit right now, but he really likes getting the play in there, getting up the line of scrimmage, and not letting the defense get time to set very well. And here they go. Kearley up, line is hands off to Gonzalez, left-hand side. He picks up a few yards across the 40 to the 41-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down.
As a defender, Tim, you really have no time to read what the offense is going to be doing. You have to rely on where your coaches are putting you. You have to rely on the defense that you're in, because there's not a lot of read and react here. It is these Liberty Hill Panthers are up to the ball fast, and they're hiking the ball.
Here they go, 3rd and 4. And some of the Hutto defenders are jumping. Harrison in motion right inside, and the quarterback, Kearley's just going to keep it himself, go up the middle, and going to be short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th down, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's 4th and short, but Liberty Hill, they're going to go for it. They have nothing to lose right here.
Absolutely. This offense here, you feel like 1 yard is going to be capable for them any place in the field.
4th down and 1. They are still in their own territory at the 43-yard line. Big play here. They don't want to give Hutto the ball back. And again, the quarterback sneak up the middle, and he's got it from where the referees marked him on this side. I believe he's got the first down where if they mark it right, because the guy on the sideline had it marked right, and now I think they're marking short. They're marketing short, I think, where the sideline guy marked the ball. The guy on the sideline definitely had it further, and now I don't think they have it.
It's going to be close, Tim.
The sideline guy had it marked in the right spot, and then when he walked out there, the guy in the middle moved it back. And it's quite possible that the Panthers are short on this play, but we will see here momentarily as they stretch the chains. They got it. They got the first down. It wasn't a great spot by the officials, but I don't think it was a little dimple on the football.
It's a good thing Tom Brady wasn't in there letting air out of that ball, or they wouldn't have made it, Tim. First down.
First down for the Panthers now at their own 44-yard line. They're up to the line of scrimmage fast. Hutto jumps, but the center's not snapping the ball. And the quarterback drops it. He's just got to get on top of it. Clearly couldn't hang on to the ball. Looks like he was trying to pitch it out to Harrison.
Clearly looks like he's on a hard count, or he's trying to get them off sides, and has the last 2 plays, but the center is not snapping it back there just yet.
Right.
Waiting in place, not trying to do anything just yet.
And it's funny, as Coach Walker and I talked about the center snap today, because I'm a center by trade, and I used to do that all the time. If I saw the guys jump, I'm snapping the ball to get 5 yards.
It's a free 5 yards.
And, Coach Walker said, though, that center's got to make sure, he's got the carte blanche to do it, but he's got to make sure he's going to get that penalty. Hand off to Gonzalez, left inside. He's hit in the backfield. He's actually going to lose a yard back to the 40. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here it comes, Tim. You can feel Hutto just crowding the line. The linebackers up, everybody up. Mm-hmm. Now it's 3rd down. Going to be not going to be a passing down, but you're going to start to see that pass loosen that stuff up because everybody was in the box on that last.
Well, right now Hutto's talking about it. Hey, just remember, be smart. I see number 40, the middle linebacker, telling him, hey, be smart. Work on your reads. Because that's what they're doing. You know that they may throw the ball. So they're talking about it right now of all the different options that the Panthers may be throwing at them at this point. Here they come up to the line of scrimmage. Clearly inside handoff to Harrison. He breaks open across the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and it is a touchdown. Touchdown Liberty Hill. It wasn't a pass. It wasn't a pitch. It was a misdirection up the middle for a touchdown.
Misdirection up the middle, wide open. That hole opened up, and Harrison sprung out like a rocket right down the middle of the field.
That was classic Liberty Hill. I was talking about the linebacker talking to his guys. Hey, look at your reads, watch the passes, watch the pitches, and then Liberty Hill didn't do any of that.
Great play call. And if this point goes through, we're tied up.
Shipley with the point after. It is good, and it is tied 7-7 with 5:59 left in the first quarter. It is tied. We'll be right back. You're listening to KMAX Sports on the Vype Media Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you are needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Well, Liberty Hill fans, we have a ball game here in the first quarter of play as you have 2 Central Texas heavyweights going at it in a slugfest, and it has started off that way with already a couple of big plays for both teams. Liberty Hill set the kickoff after scoring a touchdown on a long 60-plus yard run by Kyle Harrison, and it was just a little bit of a misdirection right up the middle, like a cross buck or something, and busted it open.
Might have looked at some film last week from the Glen Grizzlies, because that play ate him up.
Let's see if Shipley can again kick it out of the end zone. I think that's what they're trying to do, and it's not going to make it. It's going to bounce, and it's going to be picked up by Forrest in the end zone. He's just going to take a knee there and bring it out to the 25. You know, and I asked Coach Walker how has that changed the game a little bit, Greg, about this rule. He said, well, it definitely has changed the game. He said, I understand it because of concussions, but strategy definitely has changed. He said, we used to use it as a field position opportunity of kicking a short, high kick at about the 15 to 20-yard line and making them fair catch it there or try to return it there or try to get under it. And it's definitely changed the game.
It really does. It is definitely it's a game changer, right? It's going to change how these offenses start.
Hutto's offense is back on the field. Ball's at the 25-yard line. This game is tied at 7 with 5:59 left in the first quarter. Chase Griffin at quarterback takes the snap, hands it right up the middle to Chucks, and he's packed up in the backfield for a loss on the play.
Oberpriller again in there quick, wrapped him up before he even had a chance to move. This Hutto team has no room to run up the middle.
They've tried it a couple times, hadn't worked, but they've done some other things that have been successful. It's 2nd and 11. Ball's now backed up to the 24-yard line of the Hippos. 2 wide outs to the left-hand side, 1 to the right, and 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And I think we have either movement or offsides on Liberty Hill. Actually, it's going to go against, let's just wait it out instead of me trying to guess. The referees are going to talk about it. The refs have had 1 week to get the kinks out.
They did. There were some kinks last week. They managed to kind of clean it up. This game so far started out well.
Yeah. You know, we had our kinks last week too.
We sure did.
But we've ironed them out tonight. Where we hopefully, I know some of you listening you heard our broadcast last week. We had some issues with some of our quality, and we've cleared that up. 3 receivers to the left. Will be 2nd and 16. 1 to the right. And Liberty Hill has jumped off sides, and they're going to get that 5 yards back. And incomplete pass, but it's coming back, and it's going to go against Liberty Hill. Hey, and I want to say something real quick. We had some listeners listening from all over the world last week. And I'm no lie, if you're listening, we really had them from all over the world last week. And if you're listening tonight, I'm going to give you an email address here in a minute to email and let us know where you're listening from, and we will give you a shout-out on the air tonight. So give us your name and where you're listening from, and if you're listening for a certain player that you got a relative or a friend in the game, let me know who that is. And also, if you formerly played here or former athlete or student, let me know that as well, and we'll call it out on the air. I'll give you that email in just a moment. 2nd and 11, straight drop back for Griffin, looking to the right. He's under pressure, gets out of that, looking downfield, and it's incomplete pass. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down play.
Oberpriller with pressure on the quarterback. Griffin couldn't shake it loose to complete the pass. Oberpriller didn't get a chance to pull him down. Great coverage in the secondary as well by Wyatt Cheney.
They're going to need that again right here as it brings up 3rd down. And 11 for the Hutto Hippos at their own 24-yard line. Chase Griffin, the UCLA commit quarterback, is in the backfield, wanting the ball, calling for it, looking left for one-on-one reception, and it looked like a miscommunication, and it's going to bring up a 4th down as the ball fell incomplete, intended to Trey Pinelli.
Montez, great job playing defense there. He pressed at the beginning of the play, but then as Griffin was going through his progressions, Griffin was looking for that fade.
Right.
Guaranteed. Montez backed off. Great coaching. Great job to come off of that and basically wreck the play before it started.
Well, and I was going to talk about coaching. That means coaching's teaching that technique, and so I'm glad you mentioned that. The coaching staff has done a great job with these guys. So it brings up 4th down, and Hutto's going to be forced to punt it, but you got to be careful. They got a lot of athletes on the field. Back deep is Wyatt Cheney. The punt is away. Cheney gets it at about the 45. He's going to run straight up the middle, across the midfield to the 45-yard line. He picked up 10 yards after receiving it, so Liberty Hill is going to start this shot in Hutto territory at about the Hutto 46, 47-yard line.
Liberty Hill takes a punch in the mouth. They give up 7 in the first drive. They come back, they get their 7, make a stop. Now here they are over the field. Great start to the ball game, especially considering they gave up 7 on the first drive.
Quickly up to the line of scrimmage comes Kearley, and the Liberty Hill offense. He's going to hand it up the middle. The fullback has these across. Connor Kirkendall, the fullback, gets across the 40 to the 37-yard line.
Kearley pulled him ahead there for a few yards. Kirkendall managed to get the rest by himself. Good, strong run.
Connor Kirkendall on his first career carry at the varsity level picks up 8 yards, makes it 2nd and 2.
Not bad for your first carry. Not bad at all.
Quickly up to the line of scrimmage, and Liberty Hill jumps off sides. I don't know. So they came up so quickly to the line of scrimmage. One of the Harrison on the outside didn't come set and moved across the line of scrimmage, and I think they were expecting a really fast snap, and it didn't happen. So they lost those 5 yards.
Defenders have a notion to just maybe call a snap call or do some stuff like that. It really looked like he got fooled by somebody there. Something happened.
It was a little odd. I've never seen that before. All right, 2nd and 7. A handoff to Kirkendall again, and he picks up maybe a yard back. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, 3rd down. They got 6 yards to go. But again, you feel like Liberty Hill in 4-down territory. Again,
Sure,
they're probably not going to punt this thing. They're going to push it through. So that's going to take, you're going to think about that when they make this play call here.
Well, legendary coach here, Jerry Vance, used to tell me, hey, all we need is 3 yards every play, and we're going to score a touchdown. And, if it's 3rd and 6, that's true. So here we go. They're up the line of scrimmage, takes the snap. Hand off to Kirkendall off the middle, across the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, and brought down at the 10.
Great job hanging on to the ball there as Jordan Phoenix chased Kirkendall down and made the tackle. He was ripping for that ball. Kirkendall held it tight, didn't want to make a fumble on the second carry. The second one, great job.
1st and goal from the Hutto 10-yard line. 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. This game is tied at 7. Kearley takes a snap, hands off to Harrison up the middle. He gets across the 5, the 2, the 1, and they're going to mark him just short of the goal line at the 1-yard line.
Good hard run by Harrison there as he broke through and bounced off of 2-3 tackles to get close to the 1-yard line. He was real close to getting in.
2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Kearley put it on his hip 2 times last week to run it into the end zone untouched. Haven't seen it tonight.
I don't think they'll pull it out at the 1-yard line.
You might be right.
But they got a lot of calls here. Here's the play. Harrison in motion, and the quarterback's going to run it himself. And I think he's in. We haven't gotten a call. And there it is. A touchdown for Jacob Kearley. Diving right up the middle, and you don't show anybody anything with that play. That's one of the great things about it. You run a quarterback sneak on anybody scouting. It's just quarterback sneak.
Yep, he put it on his hip all right, but he just tucked down and went. They were only a half yard away, so great play call. Good job of executing. Take a short punt, put it in the end zone, up 13-7.
Here is the point after attempt by Ship. Actually, it is this time, is Shipley. The kick is up, and actually there's 2 kickers, Shipley, and it kicks up, and it is good. And it is 14-7 with 2:12 left to go in the first quarter. I mentioned about the email a while ago. So if you're listening anywhere, shoot us an email. Let us know where you're listening from. The email is libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. Give us a shout out wherever you're listening from tonight, in any state, any other city, any other country. Give us a shout out. Let us know who you are, who you're listening. If you got someone, a friend, a family member playing in the game, we'll give them a shout out. Where you're from, if you were a student or player here, let us know that information. We want to know. KMAX Sports and the Vype Media Network want to know who our listeners are. Last week we had Jonathan Dudgeon listening in from Copenhagen, Denmark, and Jake Lupinsinski, I'm probably butchering his name, from Hawaii. He's in the Marines. And Ty Dean from Lemoore, California, who is in the Navy. So all these guys overseas serving our country. So if you're listening to the game tonight anywhere, let us know. We want to know. That is Liberty Hill Football 18. That's the numeral 18, 1 and 8. Liberty Hill Football 18@yahoo.com. We want to hear from you. Here is Shipley with the kickoff. It is high. It is caught at about the 2-yard line. It's going to be brought out by Caleb Forrest. He's going left. He's got one man to beat. He gets across the 20 to 30. There's a flag down, and I believe that's coming back. He brings it out to the 45-yard line, but we see some laundry on the field, a couple of yellow flags. That usually will signify an illegal block.
Unfortunately for the Hutto kickoff return team, one guy caused that to come back. Didn't have to have a hold there. Just put your man on there. You'd have been fine. At least a 45-yard return. But it's going to bring them back. Set Liberty Hill up in a good position for defense.
Well, let's see once they mark the penalty off where we're going to have. Wow, they're going back pretty good. That's a good break for Liberty Hill. It's a good return. It's going to be backed up to the 15-yard line. And Hutto's going to come out and set this offensive possession up on 15 on the left-hand hash.
We've seen Griffin throw it down the field a few times. Have to think they're going to start trying to do it a little bit more.
3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. And Chucks is in the backfield. Chucks is the running back for Hutto. Chase Griffin standing at his 10-yard line, goes up the line, comes back, still standing at the 10 now. Takes the snap, looks right, throws right to Chucks out in the flat. He's going to use his speed, get across the 20, the 25, down at about the 30-yard line. A really nice play, and I think it's enough for a first down.
Tim, there it is again. Short pass, just like a long handoff or a toss. Toss sweep.
They can't get in. They cannot get into any type of running play, so that's going to be their running offense.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Chuck's in the backfield to the left-hand side of the quarterback. It's fake handoff and a pass out to the left-hand side to Harris. He gets across the 35, the 40, down at about the 42-yard line. So it's going to be another first down as they're starting to move the chains. Ball's at the 43 of Hutto, left-hand hash. They're going quickly. 2 receivers again to the right and 2 to the left. Chucks is to the right-hand side, the running back of Chase Griffin. Griffin straight drop back, looking downfield, dancing around, no pressure, throws across the middle, hit hard, and the receiver drops the ball.
Overthriller absolutely unloaded on Jared Beal as he tried to make a catch across the middle from Griffin.
It will bring up second down, ball still at the Hutto 43-yard line. 2 receivers out wide to the right, 1 out close to the sideline, 2 wide outs to the left. That's their standard formation. And looks like there's going to be a timeout called. And the timeout is, nope. They're resetting that's raise the roof?
I think he was raising the roof, Tim.
All right, here we go again. Same formation, ball's on the left-hand hash on the Hutto 43-yard line. Griffin takes the snap, straight drop back, looking the receiver right. He's under a little bit of pressure, rolls out, throws it downfield, and it's complete at the 40-yard line for another first down, complete at the Liberty Hill 40-yard line. And man, he's finding the wide open receivers right now.
He's getting a little bit of time when he's breaking the pocket and causing some of that coverage to break down. Liberty Hill not getting any pressure on him right now, especially these last 2 plays. But when he does decide to roll out, it is causing some open spaces.
Now we have 3 receivers to the left, 1 out wide to the right. Ball's on the left-hand hash. Chucks, the running back, is to the right of the quarterback. Rolls out right into the flat. Chucks catches the ball, dances. Actually, it's not Chucks that time. It's complete to McKee Kimball, and it looks like for no gain.
Better job there. Corey Schmidt recognized the screen pass and jumped out there to just slow it up a little bit, and that's all you have to do on those, Tim. Just slow it up a step or 2, let your guys come in and clean it up.
It was actually a loss of 1 on the play. It's 2nd and 11 from the Liberty Hill 41-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Griffin straight drop back, looking right on the one-on-one coverage, throws it downfield, and it is caught on a great catch by Caleb Forrest at the 21-yard line.
Forrest, so far, it really impressed me, Tim. He is the best receiver on this Hutto team so far, and that was all hands on the right-hand side of the field.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and we're going to take a break and be right back for the second quarter of action. Liberty Hill leads the Hutto Hippos 14-7 as we head into the second quarter. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you are needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Back here for the start of the second quarter of action as Liberty Hill leads 14-7 over the Hutto Hippos. This game has started off everything that people anticipated it might be in these clash of these two Central Texas powerhouse football teams.
We said it was going to be pass versus run, and we've seen nothing to change that here.
Right. Even when Hutto's tried to run, they haven't done very well, but they've done great passing. 3 receivers to the left as we get ready to start. 1 receiver to the right. Chucks is back in at running back, and he's to the right of the quarterback, Chase Griffin. Griffin looks left, throws it left. It's a little wide receiver screen, and it's complete out to DeJohn Harris, and he's going to trot down the sideline for untouched for a touchdown. But there's a flag sitting at about the 20-yard line.
Looks like that one's going to come back for holding, Tim, on the outside. Wide receiver might have engaged a little bit too early, and you can't do that on a screen pass. You got to let him throw the ball before you can start blocking.
And that's what it is. It's going to come back, and that's going to, with them moving the ball like they have right now, that's a good break for Liberty Hill, especially since they scored on that play. But it's going to push them back and give Liberty Hill a few more options defensively. So as they push back, it's going to be still first down, but it's going to be first and about 15 yards. 3 receivers on the short side of the field on the left-hand side. The ball's on the left-hand hash and single coverage to the right, and that's where the quarterback's looking to throw, but there's a whistle on the play. I see a flag, and I think he's pointing toward the defense. It's going to go against Hutto again. They're going to lose 5 yards.
Again, Matthew Montez out here on the side. Press coverage at the start, and then he backs up right before the snap comes. I believe it caused the wide receiver to jump there. When he jumped back, the receiver kind of went with him just a little bit quick.
He's like getting in his face, almost right up to the end, not on purpose, but really close and backing off. Here we go. They're trying to isolate Montez. They're aiming for Forrest over here to the right-hand side, trying to get him out on the island.
Fades open now if he stays there.
3 receivers to the left, Forrest to the right. Straight drop back. He's looking to the left, and he's going to overthrow his receiver, but there's flags all over the place. That looks like that's going to go against Liberty Hill.
Well, again, we just talked about Griffin being the number 1 receiver on that side. Matthew Montez up close to him. Griffin shook him. He's gone.
There's a flag on this side.
That's on Montez, holding him when he got by him.
Oh.
So it's going to be a hold on this side for sure. There's a lot of laundry on the field. I don't think any ref has a flag because they're all on the ground.
Every Panther defensive back may have held their guy that time, but we'll see. See what shakes out here. And I don't know because they're taking a little bit long to call this. It's going to be a pass interference against Liberty Hill. There was a holding. There were 2 fouls on the play, holding and pass interference. The pass interference is going to be enforced. And trying to see where they're going to mark it off all the way down to the 15 to the 19-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10. It's an automatic first down from the 19-yard line of Liberty Hill's 19-yard line. And so now, again, those 3 bunch receivers out to the left and 1 to the right. Caleb Forrest out here on Montez. He's looking at Montez. He's under pressure, throws it out, and incomplete pass. It was intended for Chucks out of the backfield, and it looks like Montez had good coverage.
Good job by Corey Schmidt. Jump all over that before.
Another flag in the play. It's roughing the passer. Well, Montez did have good coverage, did a good job there on Caleb Forrest, but unfortunately there is pass interference on the play. It's going to be marked off against Liberty Hill. up in the pass.
Tim, now as the field starts shortening with a passing team, you think it's really going to benefit the defense. But with the way Hutto is going lateral back and forth, not really going to. It really hasn't affected them these short fields as a passing team goes. They've been really effective in both opportunities that they've had.
Here we go again. There's two receivers to the left, to the right this time. Caleb Forrest is out wide to the right. Also on his side is Pinelli. On the other side, we have DeJohn Harris. And Chucks is the running back, the really quick, fleet-footed running back that did really well earlier in the half. Takes a snap, looks right, and it's headed to Forrest, and it is incomplete. And good coverage by Montez, and I tell you what, Caleb Forrest still almost came up with that ball in the end zone.
He really did. Montez was all in his kitchen with his arms, playing great defense. How you're supposed to at the point of attack, attack when the ball got there, but it was close to falling into his hands, into Griffin's hands as he completed the play.
Here is the second down play, second down and goal from the 9-yard line. Two receivers to the left, to the right, and they throw out quickly to the running back, and it is incomplete pass to Chucks, and the ball never made it to him as it was hit at the line of scrimmage by a defender.
Again, short lateral, trying to get Chucks out into the flat. That ball close to being a lateral and on the ground. Liberty Hill's got to be ready to jump on those balls, as we're going to probably see a steady diet of those passes the rest of the game.
Ball knocked down by Corey Schmidt, the defensive end for Liberty Hill. Here is third down and 9. Ball's on the left-hand hash. Two receivers left, to the right. Man in motion going to the right. We make three receivers. A roll out to the right, flooding the right-hand zone. Throws it, and it's incomplete pass out of bounds. The ball was caught by DeJohn Harris, but it carried him out of bounds, and it is incomplete. It's going to bring up fourth down. And here comes the field goal unit onto the field. And Hutto looks, at least at the moment, to say, you know what, we'll take this three-point attempt. We'll see right here, but Liberty Hill needs to be on their toes. R.J. Price is the kicker. It will be a 26, close to a 27-yard field goal attempt. Snap is back, and it is up, and it is good. Hutto scores 3 points. Liberty Hill is still hanging on to their lead with 11:13 left to go till halftime. Liberty Hill leads 14-10. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony.
Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Slugger, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity.
As God is my witness, I thought bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here in Hutto, Texas, where the Liberty Hill Panthers are playing the Hutto Hippos. Both these teams are state ranked in their respective classes. Liberty Hill ranked in the 4A poll and 5A poll for Hutto. And Liberty Hill hanging on to the slim 14-10 lead with a pretty good defensive stand. They gave up a lot of yards and finally were able to clamp down and cause Hutto to settle on a field goal.
Anytime that you can stop a team, a high-scoring team, from putting 7 on the board, and you can knock it down to 3, you're doing your job. Defense, stepping up and holding them and keeping them out of the pay dirt.
Hutto's ready to kick it off. R.J. Price, the kicker for Hutto, puts his foot into it. It's a short kick to the left-hand side. It's going to be caught at about the 22-yard line. Run right up the middle, across the 30, 35 to 40, 40, across midfield. They're chasing him down, but he's going to hang on the ball and get it in Hutto territory at the 33-yard line. And Hutto's gambling, trying to kick that ball short, and Trey Stewart brings the ball back for a great return.
Trey Stewart, when he broke through the line, loved that he covered up the ball when the guys got on him and made sure is that ball did not come out.
Well, it looks like there's a flag on a play back at the Liberty Hill 29-yard line, and that ball is coming back.
Well, they gave it back to him, Tim.
They did. They had a big break right there and had been incredible momentum for him, and unfortunately it's coming back. And not only are they coming back to 29, it's marked off from the 29 back to the 19-yard line. The ball is now backed up behind where they even caught the ball. So Liberty Hill is going to come out. Jacob Kearley, the quarterback for the Panthers. We talked about him last week, how well he executed that offense and his play fakes and calling those things out, and he actually threw the ball well. The 3 incomplete passes that he had, he completed 1, but 3 incomplete passes hit receivers in the hand, so they can't have that happen tonight. Quick handoff up the middle, and the carry by Kuykendall gets him out to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 6.
Picking him up in chunks there. Kuykendall up the middle. Solid run.
Bring up 2nd and 4. 10 minutes and 40 seconds left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 14-10. Jacob Kearley bringing his team up to the line of scrimmage really fast. Takes a snap, hands off to the left-hand side to Gonzalez. Gets across the 30 to 31-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Tim, you can feel that this might be one of those drives that's just going to chew up the clock here in the second quarter. First 2 runs, 5 yards, 6 yards. That's how they pick them up. This Hutto team now, you see them sneaking up to the line. I'm not the only one seeing it.
Right.
They're trying to sneak up to the line here.
Here we are up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the Liberty Hill 32. Hand off to Kuykendall off the middle. Gets across the 35, the 40, the 45, midfield, the 40, the 30. Finally brought down by Hutto defenders in Hutto territory at the 30-yard line.
Hutto does not have an answer for Connor Kuykendall up the middle. He is playing lights out here tonight and running the ball very well.
Next man up. Next man up. Here they are up to the 29-yard line of Hutto. Takes a snap, hands off the right-hand side to Harrison. He spins out of a tackle, gets across the 25-yard line down to the 23.
Kuykendall. Excuse me, it's Kuykendall. Is that right? Kuykendall. He's having a heck of a ball game so far, Tim.
Kuykendall, I'm sorry. It is Kuykendall.
Oh, well, we got it now.
Yeah, Kuykendall. All right. Ball's up the line of scrimmage. A hands off to Gonzalez, left-hand side. Gets across the 20. Gets a couple more yards down into about the 17-yard line for another Panther first down.
Well, it doesn't have to take the whole quarter if you're going to get them in big chunks like that. Right. And they are just picking up first down after first down here. This Hutto team, this Hutto defense does not have an answer.
Ball on 17-yard line of Hutto. Hand off to right up the middle to Kuykendall, I believe, and picks up a couple yards. It is Kuykendall. Gets about 3 or 4 yards. Will bring up second down. Second and 6 or 7 yards. Panthers up the line of scrimmage. Quick snap, hands off to Gonzalez, left inside. There's a flag on the play. Gonzalez gets down to the 5, but I believe that may be coming back. Unfortunately, it's in the area of, it's against Liberty Hill.
Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be one of the first flags thrown on this Liberty Hill offense if it is going to be on the line for either offsides or holding.
Mm-hmm. You might be correct. Yeah, the Hutto Hippos are pointing to Liberty Hill, and Liberty Hill's already backing up. So, illegal what?
Illegal shift. They weren't set long enough. They're going to have to come up and get set for at least a second. They quick snapped it a little bit, and they got caught.
Going to back them up and make it 2nd and 11. You know, sometimes I feel like when Liberty Hill does something and pulls out of their hat, they end up looking at the other team and go, we got you right where we want you, 2nd and 11. You're playing into our hands. You know, they just seem to, over the years, come up with the right play call sometimes. It's just amazing. They're up the line of scrimmage, a handoff left inside to Harrison. cuts back inside, across the 10, the 5, and touchdown, Kyle Harrison. But there's, again, flags on the play. I think they're going to flag him again for the same thing. They've been doing it all night long.
I think you might be right.
I think the coach from Hutto got in their ears.
I was just going to say it before you did, because that coach over there had to say something. Coach, they're not setting for a full second, and you have to set at least for a second to let that defense let the offense get set, let the defense get set, and right now they're it's a little too quick.
I just don't know how you time that, though, Greg. You know, and they did it the whole game last week and never was flagged for it.
He called it the illegal shift.
Well, they're going to decline the illegal shift and call the holding call, and going to bring it back 10 yards. And it's like it's going to be a timeout. Liberty Hill calls a timeout. So they got to talk about this real quick, and we'll keep it right here. It's 8 minutes left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 14-7. Let me just recap what's happening right here is, the referees now are starting to change the way that they're interpreting the set call, Liberty Hill. They're coming up really fast, so Liberty Hill comes to the line, and they want to get things going really quick, and they come up, and they're snapping the ball pretty quick, but I don't know what the rule says, but they've been flagged 2 times in a row, and it almost sounds like that maybe the Hutto coach may have called up, and hey, you need to watch this, and they need to be set longer.
If it really is the illegal shift and nobody is moving, then that has to be the call, that they're not getting set for the heartbeat that they need to be set for. You're right, Tim. We saw them go all game last week and not get one call against them on that. And even for the first quarter and a half here, we hadn't seen it. So, coaches doing coaching things, Tim, and talking to the refs like they need to, and he got himself a couple of calls.
Well, Liberty Hill, and again, is it an illegal shift? We don't know the details of what they've told Coach Walker as to what exactly is happening if someone isn't getting set. But Liberty Hill now was in a great position, even scored a touchdown, had it called back, and now they're in a tougher situation where they have 2nd and 20, basically 2nd and 20 to go, maybe 19 from their 25-yard line. The ball's on the left-hand hash. Liberty Hill's going right to left on here, and they're up under center, and they're going to hand it off. And actually, I've lost the ball, and it looks like it's handed off right up the middle to Kirkendall again, and pickup of a couple of yards.
Number 36, Kirkendall.
And he picks up a few yards back. It'll be 3rd down. But, Greg, I can just feel like they're trying to set Hutto up for something here as they continue to move. We also may see Shipley come out to kick if they pick up a few yards. Might see that happen that you're talking about kicking, see what kind of leg he has. Panthers coming out, ball's on the left-hand hash, 3rd and about 15 yards to go. Snaps back, and it's going to be a pass play as Kearley's looking, he's going to run it. Now he's throwing it downfield out of bounds. And incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down, and I don't know if Shipley's got that kind of leg to kick like a 40-yard field goal, but 30-something. But no, they're bringing him out. I think that's what they're going to do. We're going to see Matthew Shipley, the junior kicker for Liberty Hill, come on to attempt a 37-yard field goal attempt. 38-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it's too low. He didn't get underneath it, and it is no good. And Hutto will take over the offense with 7:18 left to go.
Looked like he might have got a piece of it there. Couldn't really tell if somebody blocked it or if it was a bad snap.
Right.
That really wasn't indicative of the type of kicker Shipley is. Love to see him get another crack at it, but here comes this Hutto offense ready to grind it back out again.
The offense will set up at their own Hutto 21-yard line. Ball's on the right-hand hash. 7:18 left to go until halftime. The score is 14-10, Liberty Hill. Chase Griffin is in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and Chucks, the running back, is right off to the set to his left. Throws it out wide to the left-hand side. Caught. 5-yard pickup, 10-yard pickup. Still on his feet, gets across the 35-yard line before he's tackled. And there's a flag down there on the play, and that may be...
Again, you hear the Liberty Hill coaches. You can see the Liberty Hill coach. He's clapping down here, one of the Liberty Hill coaches. Because of that, they're engaging the block before the pass is caught. Can't do it. Have to let that receiver catch the ball before you start blocking. Hutto's been called now, I think, 3 times on that. But it really is the bulk of their offense. The lateral pass, the short pass. Griffin's had a couple down the field. But right now we're seeing that they're trying to get on that Liberty Hill defensive back a little early.
Ball is backed up, and it's 1st and 9. 2 receivers to the left, 2 wide out to the right-hand side, and way wide out to the right. Snap is back. Oh, it's a misplay, but the quarterback's going to keep it, run himself, and he's going to pick up, I want to say, about 6-7 yards, bring up 2nd down and about 2.
Busted play. Griffin making lemonade out of some lemons there, Tim.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Chucks offset to the right of quarterback, takes the snap, hands off up the middle of the Chucks, and he breaks free, gets across, gets the 1st down, gets out to the 39-yard line before he's brought down by defenders.
Biggest run of the game for Hutto, right up the middle. Chucks, shifty back. He is quick. You can see it from up here how quick he is, and he managed to squirt through there to pick up a good gain.
1st and 10 from the Hutto 38-yard line. 2 receivers again to the right, 2 to the left. Chuck's offset to the right. It's running back. Griffin takes the snap. Straight drop back. Looking downfield. Throws it across the middle. It's complete to Caleb Forrest. Spins out. Running downfield across the 40, across the 30, the 10. And it is a touchdown, Hutto. And I don't see any flags.
Nope. You can only hope to contain them for so long. Griffin to Forrest. We saw it early in the game. Forrest across the middle, looked like a crossing pattern. When he caught it, he stopped. The Liberty Hill defensive backs, everybody kept going that way. He cut against the grain, and there was nobody able to catch him.
You know, that's by design that he cuts back. He knows that that's happening. It's a feel. He knows that, just from years and years of playing, that's what defenders are doing, following him around. So, R.J. Price, the kicker for Hutto, on the point after, kicks it up, and it is good. And with 6 minutes left to go until halftime, Hutto has taken the lead, 17-14. We'll be right back after this short break. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPETexas.com. And also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
Back here at Hutto Hippo Stadium, where the Hutto Hippos have taken the lead 17-14 over the Liberty Hill Panthers with a big play drive there, and Chase Griffin connecting with Caleb Forrest for a long touchdown.
Who am I to argue with Craig Way? He said it was the game of the week. So far, right on the money, Way, because this is a ball game here, and Liberty Hill about to get it back.
It's totally 2 different styles. It's a little bit of a chess match too. You see, and even the styles that they're doing. It is an interesting game that's playing out. R.J. Price set to kick it off from the 40-yard line. Let's see if they kick it short. It's up in the air. It's going to be caught at about the 23-yard line, and Liberty Hill runs it back up the middle, across the 30, bunched up, gets about the 32-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will start this drive.
Back to Seward again, and he almost had an opportunity to break it. I'm curious of why they're trying to do this short kick when
they could just kick it deep and get it to the 25-yard line.
Exactly. Exactly. They're
giving up that 5-7 yards right there.
Or the opportunity for those guys to get up on them. Liberty Hill special teams with some great blocks up front. Seward just missed breaking that one again.
Panthers come up to the line of scrimmage getting ready to go. They're going to try to make sure they get set. They do. They hand it off to Harrison, right-hand side. He's dancing, and he is going to be – he gets out of a tackle, gets across the 35, makes something out of nothing, and gets up to the 37-yard line. A nice gain on first down.
Harrison would not be denied there. They had him in the backfield, kept his legs moving. That's just nothing but want to, Tim.
Right.
He just did not want to go down, and he picks up an extra 6 yards after first contact.
6 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 4. Ball's at the Liberty Hill 38-yard line. And there's moving on Liberty Hill. They're going to lose 5 yards. And that's just a little antsiness there to get the play going. But you just lose most of what you just gained. Going to back it up 5 yards. Is going to make it 2nd and 9.
You come up to the line so many times, you're running it quick, you're running it quick, you're running it quick. Same thing happened there. Kearley was going to take a couple more seconds there to snap that ball and caught one of his backs unawares.
It is 2nd and 9. Ball is on the right hand hash. The offense is coming up to the line of scrimmage. Ball's at the 32-yard line. And the quarterbacks, they'll run at the middle. This Harrison, he broke open. Across the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Liberty Hill. Kyle Harrison busted up the middle.
Everybody in the crowd, Tim, nobody knows where the ball is. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds to figure out where it is. I know where it is, Tim. Up the middle for a touchdown. Great run by Harrison. Sprung him loose. Nobody knew where the ball was.
I thought Kearley had it. I thought the quarterback had it, and so as we're sitting here watching it, it is definitely a very deceiving offense, but a touchdown by Liberty Hill. And now Mason Shipley's on for the point after, and it's a bobbled snap, and they're looking downfield. It's going to be dropped for a loss, and the point after is no good. But Liberty Hill does retake the lead 20-17 with 4:58 left to go.
You talk about those points coming back to bite you later on.
Yep.
It looked like a low snap. Oberpriller tried to scramble and maybe throw the ball to the end zone to see if he could make something happen.
Right.
But hey, take the lead right now. Take it where you got to do. 4:58, ton of time for this Hutto team.
Yep.
Liberty Hill it might be able to get a stop, get the ball back here one more time.
Hey, I saw Jacob Kearley's dad before the game. He had recognized me from somewhere else, from umpiring baseball, and we started talking, and he told me his last name. I said, "Oh, you're the quarterback's dad." He goes, "Yeah," and so I started talking about how we complimented him on how what he is doing with his play fakes is helping drive this offense success. It is extremely important that the quarterback carries out those fakes and does them well. That's a perfect example of selling the play so other defenders are following you and not the running back who had the ball in Kyle Harrison. Perfect play.
Especially in this offense.
Yes.
It really does. If you hold on to it and carry out that fake, you're going to keep those linebackers on you. You're going to keep those secondary guys on you. You're really going to cause that misdirection to work even better.
Right. The only thing, the negative right there is that you didn't eat up any clock, and with almost 5 minutes left, you're giving the ball back to Hutto before halftime, and they've got plenty of firepower to strike back. So 20-17, 4:58 left, and Shipley kicks it off, and it's going to be caught about the 1-yard line by Chase Griffin. No, that is not Chase Griffin. It is Kimball to the left-hand side, gets down the sideline, and picks up great yards across the 30, close to the 40-yard line before he's brought out. A really great return by Kimball.
Big hit there by Austin Knox as he came up. Austin may have knocked the wind out of himself. He laid the wood so hard there. Good job of that Liberty Hill special teams to not cause it to bust for more. Great blocking up front.
So the ball is going to be set at the 38-yard line of Hutto with 4:47 left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 20-17. Hey, I wasn't kidding. First one to 50. First one to 50. And 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and Chucks, the running back, goes in motion right-hand side, and quarterback Griffin's looking across the middle for a middle screen to Forrest. He catches it. He's going to use his speed, gets across midfield a little bit, and finally he's run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
We talked about it at the onset where Hutto was running the short passes,
right,
short screens, and now you just saw the secondary play off of that.
Right.
You fake the short screen and bring Griffin across the middle for the screen, secondary screen rather.
Man in motion from the left going right. They're going to hand off to that man in motion going wide to right. Liberty Hill stretches it out but can't close it, and then gets run out of bounds about the 28-yard line. Nice pickup, first down of about 15 yards as John Harris on a big run.
Jet sweep, picking up big yardage. Looked like Liberty Hill had it defended well, but he managed to squirt out the end there and pick up big gain.
I really originally thought that they had it strung out really well, but he got the edge. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Ball's at the Liberty Hill 28-yard line. Snaps back, throw out to the left-hand side, and a little bit of the flat. Going to let his receiver Harris do a little bit of the work. And looks like it's going to be close to another first down. It is another Hutto first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Now you see some of those Hutto players making adjustments and not getting on their blocks as early.
4 minutes left to go until halftime. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Forrest is out here to the right in the slot receiver. Harris is in motion a little bit, cutting back inside, offset to the left. And there's movement by the Hutto offensive line, and that's going to back them up 5.
You really feel like that's not as big of a penalty for this team,
right,
at 5 yards, just because of the way that they've been throwing it all over the field and picking it up in chunks. It actually might help them out a little bit and give a little bit more room to the end zone. They are trying to get Griffin on this fade over here on the side.
Griffin is the slot receiver on the right-hand side. One receiver to the left. Chucks is offset at running back to the right-hand side of Chase Griffin, the quarterback. Straight drop back. Looking downfield, throws it across toward the end zone to Forrest, and he catches the ball wide open in the end zone for a Hutto Hippo touchdown.
Looked like a zone there, Tim. I really couldn't tell if they were locked up man or if it was a safety over the top or if it was just wide open was Forrest as he came across the middle. I thought the fade was wide open. He stepped to the fade, cut back to the middle. Touchdown, Hutto.
Hutto regains the lead, and the R.J. Price, the kicker for Hutto, is set the attempt, and the kick is up. It looks good, and it is good, and Hutto retakes the lead 24-20 with 3:44 left to go until halftime. We're going to take a quick break as we get ready to kick off. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end, snap again, he hits the turf, and Devon scoops it up, Cameron Wilkins has it.
On the end zone, 10, 5, touchdown.
We are the largest, we are the best, bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him,
10,
touchdowns.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Wait, Greg, is that Born to Run?
Born to Run, Tim.
Born to Run. Liberty Hill football, born to run. That is so true. All right, Liberty Hill finds itself down 4 points here right before halftime. Hutto getting ready to kick off. Let's see what R.J. Price and the Hutto Hippos do on this kickoff, as they've actually given up a few more yards than maybe what they might have wanted. And now they're going to kick this a little bit deeper, and it's going to be caught at about the 8-yard line, but Liberty Hill's going to bring it back across the 20, across the 30. Wow, and he brings it across about the 35-yard line for a nice return.
So here's another interesting thing that's going to happen now with this rule, Tim. The Hutto team literally stopped playing when that ball was in the air because it looked like that fair catch was coming. He didn't fair catch it, and Liberty Hill special teams was on him.
You're right. It looked like they just say, you know what, we'll kick it there and let them bring it out to 25. And Liberty said, you haven't any of that. You're going to earn it.
Got him an extra 10.
Liberty Hill comes out. 3:30 left on the clock. On the ball's on the right-hand hash. Harrison takes a snap, hands off to Gonzalez left-hand side. Kearley hands off to Gonzalez left-hand side. A pickup of about 4 yards on the play.
Really looking for Shane Gonzalez to get going like he did last week. Harrison's been putting them all in the end zone. He hasn't really had an opportunity to do it. But he ran hard last week, and he just ran hard on that play there.
2nd and 6 to place coming in from the sideline for Liberty Hill. They have 2 or 3 players that bring the play in from the side. Liberty Hill goes up the line of scrimmage, gets set really fast, takes the snap, hands off to Kirkendall up the middle, and he picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards. Maybe, yeah, but fighting yards it is. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I am really impressed with number 36. Kirkendall is running very well tonight. You said it at the beginning of the broadcast, Tim. It's a next man up situation.
Right.
He has an opportunity, and he has done nothing but shine with it.
3rd and 2. Plays coming in from the sideline. 2.5 minutes left to play until halftime. Liberty Hill, this type of offense doesn't work well with clock management sometimes when you don't have a lot of clock. They're up the line of scrimmage. Handoff left-hand side to Harrison. He breaks open across the 40, the 30, the 20. If there's no flags, he is going to score, and he does. And bam, another heavyweight rope-a-dope from the backside from Liberty Hill.
Kearley, ball magic. He is doing such an unbelievable job of misdirecting that defense with the way that he is handling the ball, handing it to Kirkendall, who's having the game of his life right now.
Right.
And just an unbelievable run off the left side.
There is the point after, and there's an issue with a player missing, and hope they don't get a, nope, they got enough time to get this 6 seconds left. They get set, snaps back, and the kick is up, and it is good, and we're going to take a break as Liberty Hill comes back with their own haymaker and leads 27-24 with 2:11 left to go until halftime. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you are needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Greg Ceriti, are we having fun now?
Buddy.
Or what?
What a game this is right now. You said at the onset, first one to 50, and Tim, you might have called it.
It has happened. This has definitely been a great first half of play. Exciting play. The kick is away, and there's a flag there. Liberty Hill was offside, just caught about the 25-yard line, and that's unfortunate for Liberty Hill as they made a great downfield tackle, but it's offsides and on Liberty Hill, and the offense has the option to decline it, right?
They do it,
but not where they got the ball. They're going to make them re-kick it. You know, the ball's sitting at the 23-yard line, so I'm not sure what happens right here. The defense is out on the field, though.
They're going to make them re-kick it.
Yep. Real quickly, if you're listening to us out there, let us know where you're listening from. Send us an email at libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. That's libertyhillfootball, the number 1 and 8, 18 at yahoo.com. libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. Let us know where you are listening from. It could be in Liberty Hill, it can be in Burnett or Wimberley. You know, with people from Burnett and Wimberley listen to Liberty Hill games, right?
Absolutely.
It could be from Denmark, Hawaii, California, doesn't matter. Let us know where you're listening from. We want to hear from you, our listeners, and let people know that you're listening to tonight's game. That's libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. I'll be checking those at halftime, and in the second half we'll give some shout-outs, but need you to email me to so we can make that happen. So, after that little brief mark-off of penalty, Matthew Shipley is going to kick the ball off now from the 35-yard line, and this is going to be interesting right here, as it's not giving as much field. It's giving them more field to have to kick the ball and put the ball in the hands of the speedy receivers. And actually, Liberty Hill's just going to pooch kick it, and it's going to be caught. It's fumbled by Hutto. It's on the ground, and there's a scrum for the ball, and I think Hutto got on top of it, but
the pigskin was rolling here in Hutto, Tim. Thought somebody was going to be able to jump on it from the Panthers.
It almost.
Had a chance. That ball slippery.
And Hutto will start at their own 29-yard line. 1 minute and 59 seconds left. There's plenty of time. You're definitely going to be keeping your eyes on these big play receivers, especially Caleb Forrest, who is out here set out to the right. John Gonzalez is out to the right, and Caleb Forrest is also out to the right in the slot receiver. It is a pass out to left, hit in the air. Great defensive play by Corey Schmidt. He had his second swat down of the evening.
Schmidt had seen enough of that play and decided he was going to do something about it. Came off his block and knocked it down.
That's a good technique to teach, because they're doing that play a lot. If you can get out to that edge and just get your hands up to divert that ball. Brings up 2nd and 10. 1:54 left and going until halftime. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Look for them to target. There's movement on both sides. I'm not sure how they call this, but the right guard moved. The defensive guy jumped a little bit, but he didn't touch anybody. So it'll be interesting to see how they call this. Liberty Hill defenders are in the little meeting there, and they're clapping, so it's going to go against Hutto, I believe.
Anytime that you can get in a ref huddle, you want to get in there. You want to hear what's going on.
That's exactly what happened. Walker Beatty was in there, right in there going, I think he was giving a little input.
He might have.
The guy moved. Did y'all see it? I'll tell you what happened. Walker's telling him, I'll tell you what happened. He jumped. All right, so 3rd and 15, 1:48 left to go until halftime. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Liberty was trying to hold him, and there's some movement and no flags. Quarterback scrambles, runs up the middle, and he's brought down about the 32. The good thing about that is there is a flag on the play. The good thing is the clock was running. So now we got another penalty. I think it's going to go against Liberty Hill, as a defensive lineman jumped across the line of scrimmage. That's the case. And you know what? They're going to get that 5 yards back that the Hutto just lost. So we're going to go right back to 2nd and 10. Here we go. But the plus side is they ate up clock. They didn't put the time back on the clock for the penalty.
No, and it's still running.
Yeah, 1:29 now. They need to tackle him inbounds to keep the clock moving. Low snap, he picks it up, throws it out to Forrest, and he's hit hard. Tries to spin out. Forrest is still on his feet, but run out of bounds. That kid's a ball player for Hutto.
He is. Montez hit him like a freight train, and Griffin rolled right off of it and kept going. Great catch, and good job getting out of bounds for Griffin to stop the clock.
1:18 left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill is clinging right now to a 27-24 lead here in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Snaps back, straight drop back pass. Liberty Hill got a little pressure, flush him out of the pocket. He's going to keep it, tuck it himself, get across the 40, the 45, and he runs out of bounds about the 50 to stop the clock. Does Chase Griffin.
I give credit to Chase Griffin. Yep. When the play breaks down, he has done magnificently, breaking the pocket, even if it's going to be extending the play to get the pass off, or to pick up some yards with his feet, which he doesn't have to. He's clearly a great drop back passer. Doesn't need to pick up those yards like that. He's doing it with his arm, but when he needs to, he can make it happen with his feet.
Ball's in Liberty Hill territory at the 49-yard line now. Throws it out in the flat to Chucks, and he gets out to the outside with that quickness. Liberty Hill does manage to wrap him up at about the 42-yard line. I'm not sure if they got him in bounds or not.
It was close. It was close. Corey Schmidt just missed, batting down another one.
1:02 left to go until halftime. He must have gotten out of bounds. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left again. Chase Griffin's the quarterback, standing about the 48-yard line. Snaps back, straight drop back. Looking left, looking right now across the Forest. He finds him again. Caleb Forrest again is going to run the same play as he scored a while ago and scores a touchdown.
Wide open across the middle is Forrest. Griffin finds him, has all the time in the world, and he's not dropping a ball. He hasn't dropped the ball all night, and is just all over this Liberty Hill secondary.
R.J. Price, the Hutto kicker, he has put them all through the uprights tonight. Ball's going to be set at the 10-yard line when it's snapped back by the holder. It's down, and it is up, and it is good. And Hutto retakes the lead, 31-27, with 52 seconds left to go until halftime. As these two teams, Greg, continue to punch each other in the mouth. And because of that, I just said it, I got to say this, we just lost Jackie Gleason, you know, and we lost Burt Reynolds, and I make him be the Jackie Gleason. I'm gonna put your mama in the mouth. And that's exactly what these two teams are doing today, is hitting each other back and forth with not big plays.
One passing, one running, but these are some scoring plays that are over 20, 30, 40, 50 yards when they're breaking them. They're picking up first downs. A little messy in the middle there with some penalties, but really the game right now is this Liberty Hill running offense against Griffin and Forrest. We're seeing it play out just every time they have the ball.
Well, 52 seconds left. The Panthers don't have a lot of plays that, you know, they may be just content at this point if they don't get a big return here. You know, I don't know what they'll do, but we shall see.
2 timeouts left for Liberty Hill. It depends here also on the, you know, a lot's going to depend on the return for this kick.
Right. I agree. And Harrison has moved, thinking they're going to kick it away from Harrison now. Going to be caught at the 10. We're going to return it right up the middle, across the 20, 25, 30, brought down at about the 32-yard line. And you're right, Liberty Hill's got to at least try maybe these couple plays, but what you don't want, Greg, you don't want to have a turnover right here and give it back to Hutto in your own territory.
No, Liberty Hill's going to start with the ball in the second half.
Yep.
And right now, you may be right, Tim. They may be content and to not try to do too much, but unfortunately what's going to happen with Hutto is they're going to try to play against something deep. They're going to bring some guys out of the box. It's just going to play right into Liberty Hill's hand to be able to pick them up in big chunks here. 45 seconds before the half.
Here we go. Handoff right up the middle. And Kirkendall, no, that's Gonzalez, a pickup of 2 yards, maybe 3. And I believe that's what they're going to do unless they just try to catch them off by surprise here. But you're risking a turnover if you put it in the air. We shall see right here with 20 seconds left. They're letting the ball run, clock run. And I think he's bunched up. It is Harrison, I think, that was on the carry, and no gain on the play. And the clock's going to run out right there, and we're going to take it to halftime. And that's it as we head into halftime with Hutto leading 31-27 over your Liberty Hill Panthers. And we're going to take a quick break and come back, and we may have an interview, build a player interview with Coach Coach Walker here in the second half. But we'll be right back. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end. Snap again. He hits the turf, and Delmar scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins has it.
On the end zone. 10, 5, touchdown.
We are the largest. We are the best. Bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? We're like the biggest, most beautiful field of bluebonnets you can imagine. Except we're not going to play sports here because they're bluebonnets. What, are you crazy? We'll get some nice pictures before we go, though. Hey kids, just sit down over there. Yeah, right in the middle of them. Smile. Perfect. Well, we'll send this one to Grandma. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports. KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? Well, think of the Congress Avenue Bridge Bat Colony.
Okay, folks, here they come. They're flying out from under the bridge. They appear to be Louisville Slugger, and they're falling. Oh, the humanity.
As God is my witness, I thought bats could fly. Bringing your teams to you since 2003 without dropping the ball or the bat. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here at halftime of the Liberty Hill Hutto Hippo football game, and we have a guest with us joining us tonight on during the broadcast. And some of you may have heard me add a few more letters to the sign off of KMAX Sports, and you may hear the word Vype. And KMAX Sports is now part of the Vype Network, and joining me this evening is Thomas Bingham from Vype Network, and we're going to talk a little bit with him tonight about what Vype's all about, what it brings to the KMAX family. If you're listening, you're used to the KMAX Sports, and what's being added this year, and what this bigger picture of the whole organization is going to be. But Thomas, welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. So I'm understanding you are the correspondent in the Austin area for Vype.
Yeah, I oversee the Austin and San Antonio and Hill Country publications, our websites, and our regional magazine.
Well, that's awesome, and I hadn't had a chance to see the magazine.
I have a couple copies. I can drop y'all, or I can give y'all a couple copies before I leave.
That would be awesome. I actually have heard some people that have seen it and of the magazine, and tell us a little bit about what Vype is about.
So Vype is your daily stop for high school sports coverage in the state. Obviously, our most notable branch is in Houston, Vype Houston. They killed over there with their content. We also have a branch in the Golden Triangle known as Vype Southeast Texas. And then as of the summer, we moved here to the Austin San Antonio Hill Country Market. And obviously, like, we have the websites for our daily coverage, but then we also have a magazine that comes out a couple times a year. Our high school football preview just came out. That's the magazine.
Right.
And in depth of teams, athletes, coaches, everything that you can kind of think of in terms of storylines, throughout the year.
Sure, that's cool. And where can folks find the magazine?
So we have stands at Academy Sports and Outdoors all over, as we call it, this region, Vype Hill Country. So Austin, San Antonio, go find it in those areas. And then we have some locations at multiple schools in both markets as well as HEBs.
That's fantastic. Now, for our regular listeners that listen to our broadcast, and I've been calling Liberty Hill football for the most part since 2007, their second state championship year. What are our listeners going to get extra than what they've been getting in the past just with KMAX Sports now that Vype has acquired KMAX Sports?
Well, obviously, y'all do a great job with all these broadcasts. Y'all have a wide range of partnerships with schools all over Central and South Texas and even other parts of the state. really what we're doing here at Vype is just giving y'all an additional platform, a higher platform to not only get your broadcast out there, get your reach out there, but also, like I said, content-wise, not only are you going to have the KMAC broadcast in this part of the state, but you're also going to get written content. You're going to get, we have a podcast that we just started called the Vype Hill Country Show that's going to cover our whole region. So, it's going to be just a multimedia coverage of this entire part of the state.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting, and I'm anxious to look at the publication. Chuck Licata, who brought me on many years ago, even prior to 2007. I always tell people that I'm employee number one for KMAC Sports. Is I started calling games for him when calling Leander games, and back many years ago, before 2007 with Liberty Hill, when I started calling for Liberty Hill. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and Greg, who you just met, was my broadcast partner back in 2007 during the state championship year. So Chuck also mentioned that Vype, do you do something involving recruiting as well?
Well, we cover everything that has to do with high school sports. So obviously recruiting is part of it. That includes keeping up with alumni from our area. So that could be people that go to collegiate or pro or even Olympic levels as well. So we definitely keep up with anything that is high school related.
That is fantastic. And then, like I said, if you're wanting to pick up one of those copies of the Vype magazine, there's an academy in most stores, but you said HEB as well, and that would be fantastic if you could do it. I'm looking forward to reading some of those articles. Did you get here before kickoff?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think of this game?
What an incredible game. Obviously, one of the reasons why I picked this game was, these are two, obviously Liberty Hill, is a storied program at the 4A level. Obviously, Hutto is a really deep 5A squad this year, has a state aspiration. So, in my mind, this was the best matchup of, the Austin area tonight.
So, it is, but for I would say the regular fan that looks at this as face value may go, you know what? Hutto is twice the enrollment of Liberty Hill. They've got a Division I quarterback recruit. They have athleticism. They have bigger players. They have faster players. And for some people, they might look at this as a David and Goliath type of game, and anticipate maybe it might have been a blowout. That's definitely not been close to the case tonight. Is if you're a defensive coordinator tonight on either team, you've got to be pulling your hair out.
Yeah. No, flying up and down the field, both teams are, and obviously, you mentioned, Liberty Hill is a classification lower than Hutto, but and I would say that, the only difference in my opinion about Hutto and Liberty Hill is the depth that Hutto has.
Right.
Obviously, their running back that Liberty Hill has, Kyle Harrison's incredible. His speed, just flying up and down the field, leading the Panthers tonight. But that would be, in my mind, the only thing that I would say Hutto has over Liberty Hill.
So is this the first time you've seen the Liberty Hill football team?
Maybe one of those games that were televised at state, but I don't think in person. This is probably the first one.
So, your first impression, let's just call this your first impression, because live it's a little bit different than watching on TV, but first impression, you're looking at this, and some people may go, man, this is it could be boring. They don't throw the ball or they don't put it up in the air, but once you start getting into the meat and potatoes of it, you're going, it's really not boring, because I don't know where the ball is. Mm-hmm. How many times did you watch and go, I don't know where the ball is? And it is quite interesting. So I'm interested on your take of seeing this type of throwback offense for the first time.
No, I love it. I love offense. I love these shootouts. And obviously, for Liberty Hill, what they're bringing to the table tonight, as well as Hutto, so far it's an even match, and I hope it continues.
If the second half is anywhere close to this first half of play, we are in for an incredible finish to tonight's game. And I appreciate you coming up here on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Vype, or what's going on, or what's coming up in the near future?
Hey, I think I've said it all. Like I said, go follow our. We got social medias for Vype Austin, Vype San Antonio. That's where we social out. All our daily content. But yeah, go check out those sites. Go check out our magazine.
What's the website?
Texas.Vype.com and then /Austin or /San Antonio.
Well, Thomas, thanks a lot. I appreciate you coming up and visit with you, and I'm happy to meet you and look forward to seeing you again at another game.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thanks.
Touchdown.
We are the largest. We are the best. Bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are K-Max Sports.
K-Max Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? We're like the biggest, most beautiful field of blue bonnets you can imagine. Except we're not going to play sports here because they're blue bonnets. What, are you crazy? We'll get some nice pictures before we go, though. Hey kids, just sit down over there. Yeah, right in the middle of them. Smile. Perfect. Well, we'll send this one to Grandma. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are K-Max Sports.
Back here in Hutto, and at halftime, the Hutto Hippos lead Liberty Hill 31-27. Thanks for Thomas Bingham with Vype Media Network for stopping in and talking us a little bit about Vype. And right now I'm going to play the interview I had with Coach Walker yesterday for pregame coming in tonight's game. This is Sit Down with Coach Walker. Sitting in with me again at Coach's Corner, Coach Walker with Liberty Hill, and coming off a opening season win against the Glen Grizzlies. And Coach, you told me going in that this was going to be a very good team, and they actually are a really good team. Your kids performed really well. Can you tell me about some recap of it, of what you learned about your team, some positive things?
Well, I was really shocked. Our linemen graded out better. Our offensive line graded out better than I think we've ever have in a first game. Which, looking at the grades, I was like, man, those aren't bad. Usually we're down in the 20s and 30s because we're pretty tough on them. But most of our linemen graded out in the 50s. For us, that's pretty high. But they graded out better than I thought. I think the thing that disappointed me was turnovers. And and every week, I tell our kids every week, early in the season and in the playoffs, special teams turnovers, special teams and turnovers, it played big, and if you're going to win the game or lose it. And we returned a kickoff, which was big. Mm-hmm. We turned the ball over too many times, which hurt us. Every time I felt like we would get something going, we would put the ball on the carpet, and we got to stop that. But I thought our kids, the energy was well. It was about what I thought. We were all, even kids played, been on varsity 3 years. You're still that first Friday night since you hadn't played in 8 to 10 months or whatever it was. You're still a little deer in the headlights kind of deal. So it takes a little while to get into that Friday night feel, and so you can see a little early, the jitters a little early, and us dropping the ball and doing some things we typically won't do down the road. But overall, I was about what I expected.
Well, Greg and I up in the booth noticed, even during a couple of those turnovers, the effort that was being put out by the kids that did drop the ball. They were really trying for a few extra yards, and so we did call that out and point that out. Not an excuse, but man, were they ever trying to get every single yard that they can.
Yeah, and that's always the case. I used to have kids, I would just fill their ears right after they fumbled the football and jump down their throat. And, and the older I got, I realized they're not trying to fumble the football, and so, it's effort. It's something they got to understand. It's unacceptable. We don't want them fumbling the football, but the professionals fumble and get paid millions of dollars, so it's one of those things I always ask them or have them come tell me why they fumbled, what they were doing, why they fumbled, and I'll see if we can fix it. But yeah, I never get mad really at a kid anymore for putting the ball in the carpet if he's fighting real hard. Obviously, they know it's unacceptable and we don't want it to happen, and we'll do some drills to try to correct that if it keeps up.
How about the crowd that was at the game? I mean, that was an amazing crowd.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the biggest crowd we've ever had at Liberty Hill since at the new stadium. And, it means a lot to these kids. I don't pay much attention to the crowd, but I told somebody, I walked out at halftime and the stands were completely packed, and, that seemed like it was 10 rows deep around the sides, and so that means a lot to our kids. And they come out and support them and, acknowledge their hard work.
It was really an amazing crowd on both sides, and Glenn being so close, we were mentioning that long-term, this Glenn may turn out to be a rival game.
No doubt.
It's actually closer than Vernon.
And no doubt. I think that will be the case for a few years. I think Glenn's probably outgrowing us even. They're growing faster than we are. But there may be a few years that it does become a rivalry game since we are so close.
Well, a couple players I want to talk about. Number one is your quarterback, Jacob Kearley.
11, yeah.
And I'm telling you that watching him, he's a really good ball player. In the stat book, you're not seeing a lot of rushing yards, you're not passing yards, but I believe watching so many Liberty Hill games over the years, he had a huge factor in how the offense run. His fakes are great. He's carrying them out outstanding, and it caused a lot of confusion, which helped also get 2 touchdown runs as well.
Yeah, Jacob, as I told the paper, we knew he could do it. We knew he was going to be a player. We moved him up last year to play safety in Gatesville, and he didn't just come up to play. He came up to be a player. And, I knew going into the games he's going to be able to do it. I put a lot of pressure on our quarterbacks, and he's got a lot of pressure on him, but he came through. He throws a great ball. And, we just couldn't catch him. Hopefully we'll do a better job catching him when as the season goes on. But carries out his fakes well. Obviously, I always want him to get better at that, and we will get better at that as the season goes along. But in practice, we do fast whistles, and so they don't get to carry out their fakes. So sometimes we train bad habits. And so, the more games we play and the more, the speed we play at, I think we'll all get better at doing that as the year continues.
You didn't mention him throwing the ball. Even his incompletes, I think, were on target. All 3 of them, I believe. And it's a shame they didn't, because we saw it go up in the air and wide open receivers. And but that's a really positive. You're right. He does throw a really good ball. The other player I want to mention is on defense, Wyatt Cheney, and the kid's all over the field, and he's a baller.
Yeah, he's a good football player. He's been playing in the secondary since his sophomore year. Not real big, but he had 20 tackles, I believe. And he told me if he would have made them all, he missed some tackles. I said, Coach, I may have had 28 if I'd have made all the tackles. So he missed a few, But yes, and he plays that position on our defense that, sometimes we set him up to make tackles and we ask him to do those things. But, Wyatt's always been one of those leaders back there in the secondary and does a great job for us. But, yeah, he had over 20 tackles. Nobody else on the team had 10. So he's definitely our guy back there.
He's the sideline guy for sure. This was there was college football last week, and Friday night football. It's my first look at these kickoff rules, and could you explain to me that what different teams you're seeing do different strategies with the kickoff rule?
Well, I think they take good kickers out of the game a little bit because, you might as well kick it through the end zone. It comes out on the 25. We always like kicking it real high to about the 1 yard line and trying to get it inside the 10. But nowadays with these teams that fair catch it, which you can fair catch the ball inside the 25 yard line and it goes up to the 25 yard line. And so you saw, Friday night that we'd kick it deep and high so we could get under it and get down there. Felt like we could corral them at the one. They raise their hand and plays over and they get it at the 25. But they're trying to, I think there's been a lot of injuries, unfortunately, in college and some of that on kickoffs. And so they're trying to take, that out of the game, trying to keep kids, healthy, which I agree with. But, we're changing the game of football over the years. And I have a really big problem. I told somebody the other day, if I was a new coach coming out of college right now, I would change my profession. And it's just everything. We can't cut downfield. Our offense has been about cutting downfield for years and years and years. And, they won't let us go down and cut anymore. So, the safeties don't have to worry about us at their knees and all those kind of things. But they're making the game, taking the head out. I totally get it, trying to teach kids to tackle so their concussions are I think we've gone overboard, with some of this stuff. They're taking. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 15 years if we know we're playing flag football. I mean, it really it's getting to that point right now. I know numbers are dropping because parents are concerned, but with injuries and those kind of things. But we put a lot of money into equipment. I don't think people understand that the game's pretty safe. It really is. The way it was played with the equipment, the advancement in equipment and helmets and shoulder pads and all that. I think we're going in the right direction with that stuff. And now with all this other stuff, it's just they're definitely changing the game of football. And it's kind of sad to me to be an old. I guess I would call myself an old timer, but it's I really struggle with some of the new rules, but we'll adjust.
That's right. Coach, you got another big game coming up, having to play Hutto at their home place. What do you think are some of the keys of success of your team going into what you might consider a juggernaut of a team? What do you have to do well to compete?
Well, I said this last year, anytime we play a good football team, and you're going to hear me say it all year this year when we talk. But the key to us being successful is keeping their offense off the field. So we have to eat up first downs. We got to protect the football. We got to get first downs, and we got to keep their Division I quarterback on the sidelines. That's the first key too. The second key is, which we haven't done very well, but we can't give up big plays. You give up big plays, and you run down there and use up the clock, and then you give them up 2 plays and they score. It can kind of take some air out of yourselves, but we're always that. We want to eat up the clock. We want to punch it in the end zone. We've become a big play offense, unfortunately. But when you play teams like this, I say unfortunately, we like big plays too. But play teams like this, you can be okay with 3 or 4 yards. And people in the stands may not like the game, but what we're trying to do is win a football game. And it's not to appease everybody in the stands, but that's going to be the key. Giving and just keeping them corralled, offensively. They have obviously a UCLA committed quarterback, and he's there for a reason. He's a great player, and he's got a whole bunch of good skills that players around him that he makes better. So we got to keep them contained, which is really, really hard to do. I think the best way to doing that is keeping him on the sidelines, and our offense has to be pretty. We got to execute on Friday night with our offense and be a well-oiled machine, as we say.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot, and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet, covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, VYPE-Texas.com. And also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end zone. Snap again, he hits the turf, and Hippos scoops up Taylor with
More on the end zone. 10, 5, touchdown.
We are the largest, we are the best, bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown. Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
KMAX Sports is the largest online broadcast company in Central Texas. How large is that? We're like the biggest, most beautiful field of bluebonnets you can imagine. Except we're not going to play sports here because they're bluebonnets. What, are you crazy? We'll get some nice pictures before we go, though. Hey kids, just sit down over there. Yeah, right in the middle of them. Smile. Perfect. Well, we'll send this one to Grandma. Bringing your teams to you since 2003. We are KMAX Sports.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you are needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Welcome back to Hutto, Texas, where Liberty Hill is in a slugfest with the Hutto Hippos. And Greg, I gave out the email for people to message us, and voila.
Tim, is anybody listening?
Yes, they are, and I've gotten some responses. I want give the shout-outs for these people. The first one was Ginger Buckheit, listening from Angleton, Texas. You don't even know where that is, do you?
It's somewhere in Texas.
This is true. Angleton, Texas is down towards the Galveston, Bay City, Jackson area. Ginger Buckheit is giving a shout-out to number 50, the center, Josh Lipinski, and I know I'm butchering that name, and I apologize, Ginger. Coach Walker told me how to pronounce it the other day, and I think I'm messing it up again. And so, but she said Aunt Ginger gives you all the love for her boys. Also she's giving also shout-outs to Lakota Lawrence, Justin Montgomery, and Shane Gonzalez. These boys are playing a great game tonight. Thank you, Ginger, for listening from Angleton. And yes, I know where it is. The mosquitoes are pretty big there. I do know that. I'm from the Houston area, so I know that you have big mosquitoes like I grew up with. Also, Stephanie Howie and Troy Price listening from New Braunfels. You know where that's at, Greg, right?
I do know where New Braunfels is.
Stephanie Howie and Troy Price and listening from New Braunfels. That's the home of the unicorn territory, New Braunfels Unicorns and New Braunfels Canyon. That's an escaping me. I'm messing it up.
Canyon Lake?
No. The Canyon Lake's different. That's a different high school.
Oh.
So thanks for you guys. Malcolm and Debbie Terry listening in, and she says it's great to hear Tim and Greg back again. Yes.
How about that?
That is awesome. Thank you, Malcolm, and Debbie, two of the most loyal and greatest football fans and athletic fans that you can have in Malcolm and Debbie Terry. And lastly, so far, my buddy Rowdy Brown. Rowdy Brown listening from Comiskeel, Texas. You don't know where that is. It's in East Texas. I've been there, drove through it. Rowdy Brown went to high school with my son. They were good friends. I've known Rowdy since I think since he was in the 9th or 10th grade. And Rowdy Brown played football here too. He's also went out to Hollywood, and he's acted in some movies and commercials and TV shows, but Rowdy's listening from Comiskeel, Texas. That's where he went to high school, some there, and grew up. And so Rowdy, man, great that you're listening, and I appreciate you listening. And anybody else who wants to get a shout out on the broadcast tonight, please let us know. Send us an email at LibertyHillFootball18@yahoo.com, LibertyHillFootball18@yahoo.com, and I'll try to get your shout out in before the end of the game. LibertyHillFootball18@yahoo.com. And you're talking about the people listening. We had, again, people from California last week, from Denmark and Hawaii last week listening in. So Liberty Hill Panther fans all over the world.
The world, Tim.
The world.
Everywhere. Thanks to KMAX Sports.
Thanks to KMAX Sports, and now part of the Vype Media Network. And so, fantastic. Thanks for listening in. Again, LibertyHillFootball18@yahoo.com. Let us know that you're listening to us and to the broadcast as we get ready to start the second half of play here in this contest. And Greg, if we're anywhere close to the second half as being as fun as the first half, we're in for a great second half. So what does Liberty Hill have to do to continue to stay in this ballgame?
You got to talk about adjustments. We talk about it every week. One of the biggest things that these coaches are going to do is they're going to make adjustments off of what they've seen and try to pick out some tendencies. And right now, the Hutto coaches are trying to figure out how to stop that run game. The Liberty Hill coaches trying to figure out how to stop that pass game, especially Caleb Forrest, who is running just all over this Liberty Hill defensive backfield. And even when they do have time and they are stopping it, they're not putting enough pressure on the quarterback, so it's allowing them just a free rein to find an open receiver. And right now that open receiver has been Caleb Forrest.
You know the two toughest jobs tonight in this entire stadium are? It is the two defensive coordinators in this game on both sides of the ball. They are having the toughest job out of anybody tonight.
Tim, number 4 ranked 4A team Liberty Hill against a number 4 ranked 5A team, the Hutto Hippos. two powerhouse teams, like we said at the onset, and we're seeing it right now. It's living up to the hype.
Yep.
Again, we talked about Craig Way saying it's a game of the week.
Oh man, he nailed it.
He absolutely knew it, and we're witnessing here just about every series.
It is an incredible game, and I've seen a lot of games in the last. Yeah, I want to tell you now, it's been 11 years of Liberty Hill football, and even beyond. I've just been involved calling a lot of the games in the last 11 years, and before then I was a big fan. But I'll tell you, this is as just about as good as an exciting first half as I've seen, and we're getting ready to kick it off to start the second half of play. Hutto leads 31-27, and they're fixing to kick off from their 40-yard line. Their kicker, R.J. Price, who's a really good kicker, has kicked every extra point through the uprights, is kicking off. And kickoffs actually have been just as exciting as much of the game tonight. And here's the kickoff. They're going to go deep and try to kick it out and not give them a chance. And that's what they do. It's a touchback. It's going to come out to the 25. That's the first time we've seen that tonight, is them kick it out of the end zone.
Again, adjustments.
Yep.
Really, they've been trying to kick it short, and Liberty Hill has blown that up. Now they kick it long. They start at the 25.
Yep. Well, it was interesting. I just saw one of the Hutto players dancing coming off the field, and he must not be watching the first half that I watched, because you don't need to be dancing right now. You're in a ball game. You're ahead by 4, and you've been behind about half of this ball game and score. So you better come out and take this second half serious. And here comes the Panthers up the line of scrimmage, and it is a handoff right up to middle to Kirkendall, and he picks up good first down yardage out to about 6 or 7 yards, actually almost 6 across the 30. We're going to call it to the 31. It'll be a second and a long 4.
Good hard run, and a great job of this Liberty Hill, the guys carrying out the fakes.
Here they come up the line of scrimmage again. The snap is out. Again, looks like it's handoff to Gonzalez. And actually, and I don't know, to Gonzalez, and he's bunched up for a short gain. I couldn't tell if Gonzalez or Kirkendall had it.
You're seeing Liberty Hill now wait another beat at the line when they're coming up to get rid of that shift penalty, which we haven't seen since the back-to-back calls in the second quarter.
Third down and still about 4. Look for a really good misdirection play here by the Panthers, trying to catch a little crease in that defense. Up to the line of scrimmage, and it's a pitch out to Gonzalez. He cuts back inside, and he is going to be close and have the first down. He gets across the 35 to the 36, just enough for the first down to move the chain.
Haven't seen the power sweep yet. Nope. There it is, and it picks up the first down. Great blocking out front. We talked about them blocking for each other. We just saw it right there.
Ball's on the 36-yard line, left-hand hash. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. They take the snap, and they caught a guy on still in the field, and it's going to be a penalty against Hutto as they had too many men on the field. It was a short gain of about 3 yards.
He was loafing.
No, he was loafing.
You got to get off the field if it's time to get off the field. And good job by the center there from Liberty Hill, snapping the ball and getting that ball off, catching that penalty.
He was lollygagging. You know what that makes him?
Lollygagger.
A lollygagger. You're right. Free 5 yards now across the 40 to the 41-yard line of Liberty Hill. We're just underway here in the second half of play. Hutto leads Liberty Hill 31-27. Kearley's up to the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, hands off left-hand side to Gonzalez. He gets across the 45 to 50, barrels his way close to the 45-yard line. 45-yard line of Hutto. Nice pickup.
Hadn't seen much of Shane Gonzalez in the first half. Here he is now coming out. 2 big runs for him, picking up back-to-back first downs on his carries.
Well, and there's 2 plays we haven't seen. They'll pitching out to the wide for Gonzalez. So this is all part of the set up. Up the line of scrimmage quickly, hands off to Gonzalez again. Breaks a tackle, gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line of Hutto. And Liberty Hill again starting to churn out those yards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time.
Behind Shane Gonzalez now, again, who broke a tackle in the backfield yards after the initial handoff. You can't call them yak yards, Tim, but it really yards after handoff.
Up to the line of scrimmage again they come. Ball's on the left-hand hash. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Looks out to Harrison. Up the field again. Right of the gut. Across the 30, the 20, the 10. And he's going to score again. There's no flags. And clearly the quarterback is limping off the field, but I think he's going to be all right. But it's a touchdown by Harrison right up the gut again.
Again, that's his third touchdown up the middle that he is just broken free, wide open. And once he gets out once he breaks the initial line and gets to the second level, he's got some jets, and they cannot catch him.
You know, and isn't it interesting with a kid that kind of speed and quickness that he's getting his majority of his yardage between the guards?
Right up the middle.
Right up the middle. All right. Matthew Shipley on for the extra point. Snap is back. The kick is up, and it is good. And Liberty Hill retakes the lead as you feel a little bit like a yo-yo. Liberty Hill now leads 34-31 with 9:26 left to go. And I don't see anybody over there dancing right now, Greg.
No, they put their dancing shoes up. No. It's time to play some defense. Time to play some offense. And they know they're in for a fight here in the second half for sure. Liberty Hill comes out and does exactly what they needed to do. Run consistently and run those play fakes and pop a big one.
Okay, you're Hutto. You're state ranked. You got this great quarterback. You're beating everybody. You have state championship aspirations. You come across Liberty Hill, you look at it on tape, and you see a bunch of 175, 180, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10 kids, and you're going, no, it's cakewalk. Coaches knew that wasn't the case. But do you ever think that some of these kids with this type of athleticism, because I don't think we're beating anybody in a 4x400 of a 4x100 meter relay race, but do you think that they may overlook it sometime?
Any overconfidence that they had pregame
is
gone right now. Yeah. And it might have been gone halfway through the first quarter when they realized what they were doing on offense.
Right.
Now, the offense on the Hutto, they feel ultimately confident with what they've been doing. And Tim, first one to 50.
Here we go. Mason Shipley kicks off, pooch kick to the left-hand side, and it's caught and hit immediately. They got great field position, but Liberty Hill is not going to let them return the ball.
Not sure why, as a kickoff return guy, I'd want to catch a pass that was a kick that was going out of bounds.
Right.
Liberty Hill, a little bit of a break there as the Hutto receiver literally caught that ball as it was going out of bounds.
Sure.
You let that ball fall, and it's going to be a penalty.
Well, Hutto has good field position at their own 37, but I think Liberty Hill says okay with that, keeping the ball out of the quickness and speed of the Hutto returners. And here they go, starting off. Did we just lose the light? But here we go. There is two receivers to the left, two to the right, and quick snap, throw out to the left-hand side to the receiver, and he's going to pick up a first down. That's complete to DJ Baptiste. And out to the side, first down. They get across to the 48-yard line.
Another wide receiver screen, just a little 1-yard pop, and he breaks it for 10.
Open Priller is covering, I think, Forrest. Man in motion left-hand side. It is a handoff jet sweep to the left-hand side. Liberty was trying to string it out. He gets the sideline and get a few yards. Looks like maybe a pickup of 6 to the Liberty Hill 45-yard line.
Each time they run that jet sweep, the ends on Liberty Hill are doing their job and stretching it out for the secondary and second level to come up. But credit the Hutto blockers of springing them on the end.
2nd and 2 from the Liberty Hill now 44-yard line. Chase Griffin in the back. Chucks is the running back off set to the right. He's looking straight to the right. It completes it to number DeJohn Harris, and he picks up another first down, gets about to the 35-yard line. And that was close again for blocking before he caught the receiver. The penalty that they got flagged on a couple of times in the first half.
Yeah, it was, but again, he caught it and he was on his man. It's a tough penalty to call unless it's really blatant.
Now we're trips. That's 3 receivers when I call trips to the right-hand side. 1 receiver off to the left. 1 running back in the backfield. Griffin going to keep it himself to the right-hand side. Now throws it downfield, incomplete pass. And the Liberty Hill coaches are pointing at something. There's flags down. And I think there's, an illegal receiver downfield. illegal receiver downfield. It means a lineman who's an ineligible receiver was too far down the field.
That's going to happen to linemen when contain breaks or when you start to scramble.
Right.
Those big fellas, they get caught in a pickle there. They're supposed to block their guy, but then when the quarterback breaks, they're trying to get downfield so that he doesn't get hit. They're trying to protect him all over the field, so he got caught in a pickle there.
So, Greg, answer me this. At any time would you have just declined that penalty and make it second down?
I don't think so. I'm always going to take that penalty and push him back.
All right, it is 1st and 15. They're backed up to their own 40-yard line, or Liberty Hill's 40-yard line. 8.5 minutes left. Griffin takes a snap, throws it out left in one-on-one coverage and he breaks free and gets down the sideline and finally run out about the 20. And that play is out there to DJ Batiste, and what they're looking for is just one-on-one guy. My Jimmy is going to beat your Joe.
One-on-one, Tim. You called it. That was just mano a mano, and Baptiste came out on the upper end there, breaking a tackle and springing it for another 15 more.
First down. Now at the Liberty Hill 22.
A little bit to your point, maybe that second down they call a different play and you have another down for them.
Yeah. Well, you get them in a play that, hey, I feel confident that we can stop them. It's behind the line of scrimmage, and, we should be able to make that tackle. But the athleticism of Batiste was able to make a good gain. Griffin, there's a flag. It's going to go against Hutto as they had a receiver move on the far side. Going to back him up 5. And going to back him up. And, you're right. You mentioned earlier in the first half about the, 5-yard penalty. With Hutto's offense, it's not really been making much of a difference as they're picking up yardage in huge chunks. Keep an eye on Caleb Forrest. He's on the right side here in the slot receiver position. On this near side to us. He's been the favorite target and scored. 2 receivers are off to the left as well. Snap back, throws out left, and another little, but it's going to be caught, retrieving and busted out of bounds at about the 32. Trey Pinelli catches the ball, but a great defensive play.
Called the audible. Did Griffin, and you can see the Liberty Hill sideline when he called the audible, calling for the defensive backs to come in. They read that play. The coaching staff read that play before it happened, and credit the defenders, especially Matthew Montez, coming up and making the tackle, breaking through a block and making the tackle.
That was true, and what you didn't see, because you're listening to us, is that he did come through a blocker to make the tackle. 2nd and about 18. Snaps back. There's a flag on the play. He's going to go against Hutto, but they threw it out to Chucks, and he's doing a little bit of a dancing and gets tackled for a short gain. This might be one, do you decline it and make it 3rd down, or do you push them back again and give them another down?
No, Tim, I think you're right. I think you do decline this one and make it 3rd down.
Because it was a short gain.
Tim, that's why we're up here.
Yeah, we're not, They're going to decline it. No, they're declining it. No, you're right. It's already 2nd and 20 right now.
Great call, Tim.
Yeah,
but to say they're going to get rid of that down.
No, and it brings up 3rd and long. We're looking at a 3rd and about 20 to go. So big play here for the Panthers to try to stop them. This could be. Now their coaches are yelling for him over here again, and it's a look to the left. He's rolling out to the right. He's under a little bit of a pressure. He gets hit and he throws, and it is incomplete pass. It is incomplete, and Liberty Hill stopped him as he threw downfield. Can't see the intended receiver's number to Trey Pinelli. Incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up 4th down. And this is not field goal territory. They're going for it right here.
Good pressure on the Liberty Hill defense. That's what you need to have happen if you want to disrupt this passing offense of Hutto. You got to put some pressure on Griffin and not let him slip out to pick up that big yard.
So here we go. There's 2 receivers out the right, 2 to the left. Don't forget Caleb Forrest is out here to the right. Look for that play across the middle to Forrest, and he scored on twice. Snaps back. He's looking left, now looks over to Forrest, under a little bit of a pressure. They got him wrapped up, and they're going to bring him down for a sack. and it's going to turn the ball over on downs. Back to the Panthers.
Big coverage sack there, Tim. Great job by the Liberty Hill defensive line to get in, gang tackle. And when the defensive backs cover up and it gives time for those defensive linemen to get in the backfield, they do the job. Led by Walker Beatty. Gang tackle Griffin.
Corey Schmidt also on the play now. Liberty Hill has the ball on their own 31-yard line. Kearley takes the snap and runs it. Short run up the middle to Kirkendall. That's the shortest gain that they've given up on the fullback to really no gain. Oh, there's a flag on the play. Oh, offside on the defense. Well, it's no longer the shortest gain of the night because that play doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't even count.
Yep, so now that's erased from the record book. So now it's 1st and 5, gives Liberty Hill a whole different set of options, and ball's at the 36-yard line. We have 6 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in this third quarter of play. Liberty Hill leads 34-31, and they now have the ball. Big defensive stop for Panthers on a play 2 plays before. The Hutto Panthers jumped again but got back, and it's a quarterback sneak up the middle for just a couple of yards. And they'll bring up 2nd down. You know, and I understand the play. If they get down to 2nd, they're giving, you're not giving away anything on that 1st down, but they didn't pick up much yardage though. It's 2nd and 3.
Halfway through this third quarter, Liberty Hill with a 3-point lead and the ball. This is the kind of drive that Liberty Hill, needs to have right here.
Kearley takes a snap, hands off to Gonzalez, left inside, across the 40, across the 45, brought down at about the 47, 48-yard line. A 1st down that's going to move the chains again.
Shane Gonzalez covering up that ball as soon as he starts to get contact to pick up an extra couple of yards. But these Liberty Hill ball carriers haven't put it on the turf. No. Let's knock on something. You heard Coach talk about it in the halftime interview, how he's trying to help them and talk about those keeping that ball in their hands.
Kearley takes the snap. He hands off to Harrison left-hand side. The same play he scored on, but he gets across the 50. It's a nice 1st down gain of about 5 yards.
That might be his shortest run of the night.
That's true. And another play we haven't seen that they had success on. The quarterback keeper that Kearley had last week. 2 touchdown runs on that play last week, and we haven't seen it one time.
I'm sure that the Hutto Hutto coaches have seen it as well, and that's got to be something that there was something going on last week with the Glen Grizzlies where they were trying to have an extra man in the box to stop the run, and Hutto I don't think really has done that yet. They've been playing it wide to not allow for that to happen. Like you said, this Hutto team, some really good athletes on the ends and in the secondary.
Right. I will tell you that on those touchdown runs that Harrison ran, Kearley was carrying out that fake, and it was there. And so it's an option. I think I don't know what's going on here, timeout or do we have an official injured? This is odd. We have a Hutto official running off with one of the referees off the field, and so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll use it for a chance to talk about the email again. If you're listening, please email us at libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com, and we got a couple of them come in. Chris Hamilton has emailed us. She's at home in Liberty Hill listening to our Panthers. Special shout out to our son Colton Hamilton. He's a Panther student athletic trainer. Thank you, Chris, for listening in to tonight's game. I got a couple more I'm going to get in, but we're going to resume play here in a second. And again, we've lost an official. Is what I don't know if I don't know. That was strange. The official went off the field jogging. It wasn't like he's limping. And with someone from the Hutto staff. So here we go. 2nd and 5 from the Hutto 48. Liberty is up in front. Handoff's left-hand side to Harrison. He's bunched up for no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And on that play, you see it. He comes close. There's one man that tackles him. If it doesn't happen, he breaks open.
And we've seen it break open now 3 times. And you're right. This Liberty Hill offensive line, heard Coach talk about how high they were graded last game.
Yep.
I have to think the grades are going to be almost as high this game because they are really putting hats on these defensive linemen and springing
home. And the defensive linemen outweigh them by an average of 20 to 30 pounds.
At least.
Panthers up 3rd down and 5. Takes a snap, pitches out to Gonzalez, left-hand side. A bunch of people blocking for it. Gets the first down off to the 40. First down for the Panthers as Gonzalez, another run, getting to the 41-yard line of Hutto.
That power sweep, power toss came this way, get the boys out in front. Gonzalez running hard and picking up the first down. He had it by a good 2-3 yards, but good hard running by Gonzalez.
He had a bunch of his boys out in front.
He absolutely did.
And they have a lot of pulling linemen that go out there too. So they're up the line of scrimmage, first down. Handoff to Kirkendall up the middle. And a bunch of Hutto defenders pile him up. But this all sets stuff up. If there's 4 guys tackling Kirkendall, that's a good thing for the offense of Liberty Hill for other things.
They'll make adjustments off of what's happening there, and they're going to hand it to one of those other backs on that deal based on how this Hutto defense is tackling that initial handoff.
A pickup of 2, so it's 2nd and 8. The clock is ticking. It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. We see lightning way in the background. Snap, handoff to Harrison, right-hand side. He's bunched up for a loss on the play of 1, and it's going to be 4th down. And, Hutto, there's a player on Hutto taunting our sideline. I don't know if he's looking at the scoreboard, the same scoreboard I am, but they're losing, and he's out there taunting the Liberty Hill side, like, bring it on.
High school football, Texas, Tim. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Here we go. It's Harrison in motion, right-hand side. He's still in motion. They're going to call timeout.
Tried to catch him off sides. Tried to get him with a hard snap there.
Right.
Credit the Hutto defense for not jumping.
Got 2 more shout-outs I want to give. Orlando Vallejo, listening to the game from your broadcast from his current Liberty Hill football Panthers. Shout out for their game tomorrow for the 6th grade team against Bernie and the 5th grade team against Smithson Valley. Go Panthers. And that's right, the youth football in Liberty Hill feeds all these guys, and that's very important. Thank you, Orlando. And the last shout out I have right here is my good friend Tony Stevens. He grew up in Liberty Hill. Tony Stevens served on the board. His son played with my son in basketball in high school. And a good friend of mine. And Tony, thank you so much for listening in. It's been way too long since I've seen you, but thank you for listening in and all your support for KMAX Sports and all you guys that are listening. And again, if you didn't get a chance to get a shout out in, we still have time. So send me an email at libertyhillfootball18@yahoo.com. And all you guys that did it tonight, we're going to do it the next broadcast too. Send me another one next week so we can let everybody know that you're listening. And I want to talk about that again here in a minute. So those of you that sent a shout out in, I got a special message for all of you here during my next break. So tune in and listen. Here we go. Liberty Hill up the line of scrimmage, 3rd down, 3rd and a long 9. Man in motion, Harrison. Pitch out to Harrison left-hand side, and he's going to pick up maybe about 5 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down, and this is not punting or anything territory. This is 4th down territory for Liberty Hill, and they are going to be going for it, as I suspected. And this is a big play. Now Hutto needs a stop. Liberty Hill got a big stop on their last defensive try against the powerful Hippo offense. Plays coming in from the sideline, being brought in by Michael Henley. Now up to the line of scrimmage. And they call a timeout. There's a flag, but no, the coach called a timeout before the flag. No, it was a timeout before the flag, so they're pulling it and sticking it back in their pocket. So while they're doing this timeout, all you guys that tuned in to or sent me an email tonight, this is the message I have. You're listening to our broadcast tonight, and I just need to let all of you know that you may not be aware, but as of right now, we're scheduled to broadcast just 4 more Panther football games this year. And if you would like to step up or know anybody to help fund the other 3 games, so parents and grandparents and relatives and Panther fans everywhere, just like you, can catch these games on KMAX Sports, we need you to contact Chuck Licata at chuck@kmaxsports.com or call Chuck at 512-466-7751. You can also shoot me an email, and I'll get that information to him. You already have my email. But guys, there are some more games. There's 3 games that will not be broadcast this year. 3 games that you will not be able to listen to that are not funded at this time. And one of those is coming up in 2 weeks. So if you want to hear these games, we need you to step up, and if you know a business that will do it, right now there's over 890 broadcasts that have been broadcast by KMAX Sports. So let us know if you know of anybody that can sponsor a broadcast, and it might even be advertising for a business. Back here on 4th down, 4th and 6 yards. It is going to be a pass play, a rollout, looking back, throwing to the left. He's got some room. It's complete. It's a first down and more than 30. The 20 and knocked out of bounds. And it was complete to Cole McWilliams, the tight end, for a first down.
Kearley has not missed a receiver every time he's dropped back to pass this season. That time, he was rewarded with a reception and a first down. Big play here halfway through, or almost all the way through the third quarter now for this Liberty Hill Panther team.
Ball's in the 19-yard line. The Panthers go up. Handoff to Kirkendall right up the middle, and picks up a yard or 2. And Greg, I don't know, we're seeing a little lightning in the distance. Hoping it stays away. I'm going to check the radar because it could play a factor in our game going on here probably in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Pickup of 1 yard, and Liberty Hill now is at 2nd and 9 from their own 18-yard line, or from Hutto's 18-yard line. There's a minute and 40 seconds left to go until the end of the third quarter. Liberty Hill leads 34-31. A handoff to Gonzalez left inside. He gets across the 15, down to about the 11-yard line, and pretty close to a first down. It looks like he's going to be a little short, be a 3rd and short.
Gonzalez breaks a tackle, takes a couple of steps, and then he does a little jump. You always have a little bit of trepidation when your running back gets off his feet.
Right.
But he jumped and picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards there.
It'll be 3rd and 2. Ball now sits at the 12-yard line. Looking at the rain in the distance, it's out towards the Leander Cedar Park area at this moment, and looks like it's heading maybe a little bit north, and we may miss that. I also see a little bit of patch that says it's somewhere around us, but we're not being affected at this time. They're up the line of scrimmage. Kearley takes a snap, hands off to Gonzalez, right-hand side. He's close to a first down to the 10. I think he's going to be short, and we're going to have a another fourth down play.
As the clock ticks down, 34 seconds left, 30 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to snap it.
Yep. It is 4th and a yard to go. The ball is just shy of the 10-yard line. They're going to need to get across the 10 for the first down. It is, I think they're going to, they're going to get up there and run it. Here we go. It's 4th down and 1. There's 3 seconds on the clock. 1, and they don't get it off. Prosa's not. No, he did get it. They called the timeout. They got it. Wow. I didn't think he was going to get it. He was too far from. Yeah, but is there a second left, or is it the end of the quarter? It got to be a second left, because you couldn't get the timeout if there was still time. So there's 1 second left on the clock.
Logic says that's exactly right. The play clock and the game clock were 1 second off, as Tim and I were both staring at the play clock, staring at the game clock, trying to see exactly what they were going to do. And really, they waited to get up to the line so long. I thought maybe that we were looking at it. We didn't really know where to look to see what was happening. But then they immediately tried to get up to the line. Just missed it.
It was a planned timeout. That's why they waited in the huddle. I don't think they I'm not sure. I just think that might have been a planned thing, but it looked a little odd. But
Coach Walker playing the game with the timeout there at 1 second.
If there was 1 second, he had to be right in that guy's ear, I tell you. So, and it's 34-31. They put 3 seconds back on the clock, so this will be the last play of the third quarter.
Yep.
And we've not been disappointed with this third quarter action either. Here it is, a big fourth down for Liberty Hill. Maybe the biggest play of the night thus far. They're up at the line of scrimmage. And they jumped. Liberty Hill jumped. Oh, they're going to lose the 5. It changes everything now, Greg. Now do you try the field goal? Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. Yep, they're going to bring on the field goal unit, and Matthew Shipley is going to come on the kick. Oh, man. Man, that was a tough one, Greg.
It was a tough one, especially with the situation and what was happening there.
Yep.
Hate to see him jump off sides.
Here is the 33-yard field goal attempt by Matthew Shipley. Snap is down. The snap is good. The kick looks good, Greg. And it is good. And Liberty Hill extends its lead to 37-31. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end. Snap again. He hits the turf, and Devon scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins goes on the end zone.
10-5, touchdown.
We are the largest. We are the best. Bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
Inside, he's got blockers in front of him. Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here in Hutto Hippos Stadium, where the Liberty Hill Panthers lead Hutto 37-31, Greg. And one of the keys to Coach Walker said in his interview in pregame, too, was, hey, the key to success is keeping Hutto's offense off the field. And they haven't scored in the third quarter.
No, Liberty Hill got the big stop on defense, and then methodically marched it down the field, which was turning out to be a quintessential Liberty Hill drive where they give it to 3-4 backs. Quarterback completed a pass.
Liberty Hill tries an onside kick and unsuccessfully, and Hutto gets the ball in very good position at their own 48-yard line.
Tried to catch him unawares. I'm a fan. I absolutely love the call.
Right.
Didn't turn out.
I like the call because they were just going to pooch kick it over here. They're trying to keep it out of the playmakers' hands. And so Hutto's going to get the ball here as we start the fourth quarter of play on their own 48-yard line. 2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. Snap, fake handoff, throws out, batted down again, and guess who that is? 3 bat downs tonight for Corey Schmidt.
Corey Schmidt leading the pass defended. If batted balls was a stat, he's leading the league. Great job by Schmidt to get up in the air again. Credit the coaching staff, Tim, for talking about those tendencies and talking about how to play some defense.
2nd and 10 for the Hippos. Chase Scriven takes the snap. He looks left, now looks right, now looks left, across the middle. He's under pressure, throws it deep downfield as a receiver, and it's going to be a touchdown. Pass complete to Trey Pinelli.
Tim, the UCLA Bruins are getting a good one, and we just saw why. Because he stood tall in that pocket when pressure was coming and delivered a frozen rope about 40 yards down the field on the money.
Now, R.J. Price is on to attempt to kick the extra point. The game is now tied at 37. Snaps back. The kick is up. And it is good. And Hutto now takes the lead, 38-37. Just about 15 seconds off the clock, and they're here in the fourth quarter of play. And Greg, you knew it was coming. You know, we hadn't seen him really chunk it. Well, a couple times he's out throwing a couple of receivers, but that one was on the money. Yeah, the defender. You know, when your receiver is just faster than your defensive back, there's not a whole lot you can do when you don't have any help. And folks, the reason he doesn't have help back there is they have all the receivers out in coverage, so all the defensive backs are already covering someone. Is that correct?
You got 2 on the right, 2 on the left. You're sending the back out, which we've seen all game long. So you got to account for him as well. These defensive backs are under pressure, and right there, he absolutely delivered it on the money. Took a shot afterwards.
Yep.
If it was half a second later, that's a sack. But
yep, that's true.
He really timed it right and delivered it was a tight spiral. It was just a gorgeous pass.
Yep, and what you can't see, that he's right, that Chase Griffin was under pressure. He had rolled out again. He's throwing so many of these balls out of rollouts, under pressure, not a straight drop back sitting in the pocket. He's throwing the ball on the run.
Give him credit for setting his feet and delivering it there, though.
Here's the kickoff for Hutto, and catching the ball at about the 10 is Liberty Hill, and they're going to run it out across the 20, the 21-yard line, brought out by Brady Brewer. And Liberty Hill is going to get the ball on their own 21-yard line. And that's where, you know, you could have called a fair catch and get it to 25, but you never know. They've done well on the return, so who are we to complain when they've done a really good job? They've made the good decisions. That's the first time they hadn't got across the 25.
Not at all. Love the aggressiveness. Love that they're putting their hats on people and trying to get some extra yards on the kickoffs.
Here we go, up the line of scrimmage, first down for Liberty Hill. Takes a snap, hands off to Kirkendall up the middle, and they're starting to bunch that up now, as we've now seen him get bunched up for no gain or a yard or no more than 2 here in the second half.
Defensive tackles are really pinching the middle and not allowing that cutback or anything right there. There's 4 big defensive linemen on the Hutto side, and they are starting to take control of that play up the middle.
But you still, as an offensive coordinator, you still call it. You need to make sure that they're respecting that call or that play.
Absolutely.
It is 2nd and 8 after a pickup of 2. Ball's on the right hash. Kearley takes the snap, and he's rolling out. He has the ball. He throws it downfield, has a receiver, and it's caught across midfield, down to the 40, and finally brought down. Again, and Cole McWilliams on the catch. Another perfect throw.
Kearley, great fake on his hip. He does that so well, and then he delivers it on the money. And on the money to Cole McWilliams.
Great play call, play fake. You know, he held the ball, he hid the ball well, and again, another great play. Jacob Kearley, good pass. And so now here we go. It is first down. They're now in Hutto territory at the 40-yard line. 10.5 minutes left to go in this game. Liberty Hill trails by 1, 38-37. The offense comes up the line of scrimmage on the right-hand hash. Kearley takes the snap, hands off to Gonzalez right-hand side, and he barrels his way for a pickup of 3.
Tim, power I formation right up the middle. That's the 3 yards in the cloud of dust that Coach Walker's talking about. And you just saw it right there.
Pickup of 3 will make it 2nd and 7. The ball is on the Hutto 37-yard line. Ball's on the right-hand hash. The play call comes in. Justice Weiss brings the play in. Gives it to the quarterback. Now they're up at the line of scrimmage. Kearley under center. Takes the snap. He rolls out again. He throws it downfield, incomplete. He was under pressure.
That's the first pass. That's the very first pass that Jacob Kearley has thrown that hasn't hit a Liberty Hill player in the hands.
Well,
I mean, he did a good job of throwing it out of bounds.
He was just trying to get rid of it. That's true.
Yep.
At that point, it was self-preservation. Because there was some big boys coming at him right there. Now brings up a big third down. 3rd and 7 from the Hutto 37-yard line. They're up at the line of scrimmage. Kearley under center. Takes the snap. Hands off, but gets tackled. That Brady Brewer on the carry there. First time calling his name, I think, out of the backfield today.
Coach is screaming for the horse collar tackle. They didn't get it.
And it's 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Well, why not?
Of course they are.
So your Hutto, you're talking about some different options. You're saying watch the pass, watch Harrison up the middle, on that cutback in play. So Liberty Hill, are they going to dial something up here they haven't used before, like the quarterback keeper possibly? They're under center now. They're going long snap. And he's going to roll out again. He's going to throw it again. He's under pressure, throws it downfield, and it's intercepted, but I think he's out of bounds. Nope, he called it. It doesn't matter, really. It was 4th down. It was an interception, but the ball's going to get turned over to the Hutto Hippos.
Kearley trying to throw it away again as he was under pressure. The interception actually helps him out a little bit and sets up this Liberty Hill defense for...
They need a play.
Biggest series of their season.
Yep, they need a play right here. They need a stop. Hutto has stopped the Panther offense the last 2 possessions. So the last 2 possessions, Hutto has stopped the Liberty Hill offense. So it's 2 big stops for Hutto. And now Hutto has the ball back.
Liberty Hill out of timeouts at this point. 8:55 left in the 4th quarter. Something else to come into play later on, Tim.
They need to stop. This is a crucial possession for both teams. This will probably decide the outcome of this game. Will be this possession, or how this game's going to end. Throws out to Chucks on the outside. He gets to the sideline and picks up some yardage, about 8 yards. Gets to the 40. He'll be a little short of the 1st down.
Little pep in the step of these Hutto Hippos now that they've stopped Liberty Hill twice. You really can feel the energy of that crowd and the sideline starting to fuel these guys.
2nd and 2 for the Hippos at their own 40-yard line. Chase Scriven takes the snap, straight drop back, looking right, under a little bit of pressure, runs out. He's going to get tackled. He tripped up, he's going to run it himself. He's going to get tackled for no gain. He's going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
And Tim, let's talk about number 24, Wyatt Cheney, not back out there. I think he's been off the field this entire half. That's a big loss for the Liberty Hill defense.
3rd and 1 for the Hippos. Griffin takes the snap, looks left, throws it out left. It's complete for a 1st down to Dejon Harris. He's still on his feet, misses it, breaks the tackle, gets finally tackled in Liberty Hill territory at the 38-yard line.
Another short pass, broken tackle, 25-yard gain.
First down. 8 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in this game. Liberty Hill trails by 1 point. Hutto up 38-37. Greg, you been updating that scoreboard?
Yes, sir.
All right, just make sure you don't get reprimanded. There's a pass out to the outside to Forrest. He catches it in the flat. Now he's going to use his athleticism, cutting back inside the 20, gets tripped up, gets a 1st down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
Well, that was one of the biggest tackles on Caleb Forrest tonight was the 20-yard line, because that tripped him up when he was cutting back.
Now the clock is not Liberty Hill's friend right now, as they need a stop. Ball's on the right-hand hash. Chase Griffin went up the line of scrimmage, may have changed a little bit of a play, takes the snap, looks left, throws it out left. It is complete to Harris. He does a little dancing. He breaks 2 tackles, finally tackled at about the 7-yard line. probably it looks like it's close to another first down. It may be first and goal.
Tim, you called it. He saw the way that the Liberty Hill defense was adjusting to the Twins on the left side, and there's just too much space there. He called the quick pitch and catch and to pick up the first down.
So it is first and goal from the 8-yard line of Liberty Hill. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Hutto leads by 1, driving the ball. Griffin takes the snap, hands off to Chucks up the middle. He gets across the 5 to the 3-yard line. Bring up second and goal from the 3.
Big goal line stand here for these Liberty Hill Panthers. If they want to have a chance to win this ball game, like you said, it might have to be right here, Tim.
There's some pretty big offensive linemen for Hutto. You usually look at them up against the Liberty Hill guys. They're a pretty good size front line. The left guard is pretty large. Take a step back, throws out the left-hand side, and it is a touchdown, Hutto. It was a very nice play. Griffin throws it out to the outside to DJ Batiste, and we hadn't hardly called his name in the first half at all. In the second half, he's come alive as another primary target for quarterback Chase Griffin.
5-yard out. Mm-hmm. Keep your feet in bounds. Griffin put a frozen rope right on him.
Yep.
Easy pitch and catch right there.
R.J. Price on to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and it is good. And Hutto now extends its lead to 45-37. We're going to be right back with 6:18 left to go until the fourth quarter. You're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008, and you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, and we all have at least one of those, you're needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
Born to run, Greg. Born to run. Back here in the conclusion of tonight's game, Hutto leads 45-37.
Now, Tim, you said conclusion, but just in the break we were talking about, we're down 8 points.
I mean that we're on the final stretch. Doesn't matter what's going to happen.
8 points down. Plenty of time in the ball game.
Kickoff is away. It's kicked. Going to be caught about the 12-yard line by Liberty Hill. Runs right up the middle. Gets across at the 25 to the 26-yard line. Return Brady Brewer. So Liberty Hill is going to start at the 26-yard line to start this drive with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left.
This Hutto defensive line has bunched up the middle.
Yep.
You talked about coaches having to call those plays. Yeah, they've called them all game now. You're probably going to see something to the outside.
Yep, you got to loosen up.
Something else that's going to put this defense in a bind.
We haven't seen Gonzalez. Every time they've gone outside with him, they've picked up positive yardage, like 5, 6, 7 yards. We'll see what they do right here. Curley's under center now. And there's movement on the left side of the offensive line, and that's not a good start. Oh. Losing that 5 yards. I mean, that's tough. You cannot be making mistakes. Here you have the game on the line, and you got to be mentally in this game. And you're tired, Greg. Your body's hurting. You're banged up.
Getting set and getting off on this snap is really one of the most important things of this offense.
Here we go. Curley's hard snap. Takes the snap. Hands off. Fumble on the ground, but Kirkendall covers it back up. And it's going to bring up second down and long.
Kirkendall did put it on the turf, but then he got it back real quick.
You know, there's a play that Walker and I have been discussing that we haven't seen in quite a while. We haven't seen it at all this year, where that push pitch out to the outside, Greg.
It is a two-handed pitch from the quarterback, and it looks like a bounce pass or a chest pass in basketball, but it's delivered about 10 yards to the side.
Yep. Man, the ball's on the turf, and it's still a fumble, and Hutto has recovered the fumble, and Liberty Hill has turned the ball over to Hutto in their own territory.
Well, Tim, you said it at the beginning of the ball game, first one to 50 might win. And unfortunately, the Hutto Hippos knocking on the door with 45 points. That Liberty Hill offense did not look good in that series. And that fumble there is a tough way for this offense to end this game.
It's not over, but it's not looking great as we now have 5:22 left. And there are some people starting to follow the exits as we speak. But now Liberty Hill needs something, and does Hutto? Why change what they're doing? But I anticipate them to at least do a jet sweep or a handoff to keep it safe here, and continue to run the clock. And they're going to throw a safe pass, and it was tipped on the ground, and I don't know if they're calling it a fumble or not. And Liberty Hill says they have the ball. Oh my God! I thought it was an incomplete pass. They're calling it Liberty Hill's ball.
Thanks again to Walker Beatty. He's in the huddle with the refs again, and I think he came out and pointed first before the ref did.
Wow.
Walker Beatty. Tim, we were talking about maybe doing something safe, but why stop if you're going to what's worse? And credit the Liberty Hill defense to give the ball back to their offense. And here we go again.
I think that's a bad play call on Hutto.
You might be right.
I think they should have ate the clock up. Liberty Hill has the ball, hands off to Gonzalez, right-hand side, and he gets tackled in the backfield. Big loss on the play of about 5 yards.
The most important thing now is just for this team, settle back down.
Yep.
That was a great play by the Hutto defense to read Gonzalez outside, and he's been torching them with it. This Hutto defense really has stepped up here and has stopped this Liberty Hill offense.
They have in the last little bit. They have the last 3 or 4 drives, and they hand it off up the middle to Kirkendall again, and very little gain on the play. Pickup of a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Ball's on the right-hand hash. There's a flag on the play, way on the far side on the Hutto side, and
offside.
It could be offsides Hutto. Well, come on. The coaches for Liberty Hill is pointing towards Hutto, and that is the case. It's going against Hutto. But it's interesting that they look like they marked it off from where the end of the play was. Not from where, well, it didn't matter. Here we go. 2nd and 8. And it's a rollout pass. Oh no, it's almost a sack. Carey's trying to get to the sideline. Picks up some positive yards out of it and gets hit out of bounds. Oh my gosh. He's clearly out of bounds on the Hutto side, and the Hutto player clearly hit him out of bounds.
The whole entire Hutto crowd erupts on the tackle. Unfortunately, it was a good 2 yards out of bounds, Tim.
No, it was a horrible decision on the player to hit him out of bounds like that. And it's that's a 15-yarder.
3rd down and 6 when this defense has been stopping them, and they're going to give them the 1st down. They're going to put the ball on the 46-yard line, Tim.
Wow. Big break for Liberty Hill. They get the ball at the Hutto 46. They're up at the line of scrimmage. Inside handoff to Harrison. He breaks a couple of tackles. He gets out close to the 35. We're going to call it the 37-yard line.
You can feel the energy shifting now. You can feel it on the field. You can see, again, the Liberty Hill players running with a little more purpose now, up to the line with a little more purpose.
3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this contest.
And these Hutto
down by 8.
These Hutto defenders, hands on hips.
Hand off to the right inside to Harrison. He breaks open. There's a flag on the play. It's crossed the 20 to 10. It's probably coming back. He gets inside the 5. But it's going to be coming back as there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. Holding against the Liberty Hill.
You called it, Tim. Might be why he was so open. Because somebody's holding in the backfield.
Going to bring him back 10 yards. It was 2nd and 1. It's going to make it 2nd and 11. Actually, it's a spot foul, isn't it, I guess?
From the previous spot.
Yeah,
so you were right in the 11.
2nd and 11. Now it's backed them up to the 47-yard line.
11 ball spotted at the Hutto Hippos 47-yard line.
3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this contest. Clock has started to tick again. Hutto up by 8, 45 to 37. Liberty Hill with the ball. Takes the snap. And the quarterback's going to keep it. There's Kearley to the outside. Still on his feet. He picks up a few yards, gets out of bounds. But one man to beat.
Number 11.
Pickup of about 4 yards. Make it 3rd and 6.
He did. Credit Jairus Herrick for staying home and doing what he's supposed to do. He has a responsibility on that backside to keep outside contained. He didn't bite the fake. He stayed where he was supposed to.
3rd and we're going to call it 7. 3rd and 7. Ball's now on the 43-yard line. Kearley long snap. Harrison in motion. There's that pitch out to Harrison. He gets to the sideline. There's a flag on the play, and I think this one's coming back.
Number 10, Harrison, the ball carrier, flag on the play.
I think this one's coming back too. Another hold.
Well, Tim, we've been waiting all season to see it, and we just did. It sprung for the first down.
Yep. So another hold call on the play, going to cost them another.
Back where they were.
Yep. Right back where they were. So it's going to be 3rd down again. Now 3rd and 10. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the contest. Here we go, 3rd and 10. Offense comes out to the line of scrimmage. Kearley takes the snap. Inside handoff, and close to a first down goes Brady Brewer on the carry. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1.
Well, Tim, when you're 3rd and 11, you got to love to get a 10-yard play, especially when you're Liberty Hill. So
here's the game.
This is the ball game.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Clock's ticking.
For now.
And no timeouts for Liberty Hill.
Nope.
They just set that clear right there. Ball's in the right hash. Here they come up to the line of scrimmage. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout. Hutto wants to talk about it. So let's talk about it.
2:40. 4th quarter.
Yep.
Down 8. 4th and 1. Tim, Texas high school football at its finest. These two powerhouses going at it, and really neither of them giving an inch.
Right.
And where did the people go, Tim? Who's leaving the stadium early in this game? Come on.
Well, there are. Not a lot of people, but a couple. But I don't think they know Liberty Hill has the ball back.
They might not. As soon as that turnover happened.
Yes, they did. You're right.
People started funneling out, and that's why you stay to the end, Tim.
Right. And this is, interesting play call. I'm glad we're up here and not down there to have to call this play because I don't know what I do.
You give it to Kearley up the middle just to get the first down. You just squeeze it. It's 1 yard. You say,
no.
You got to go get it.
Yeah,
Don't make
quarterback sneak? No.
I don't want to push it out to the side and do anything like that.
They're running one technique.
Maybe you go off tackle with that power eye. I don't know if I want to do a sweep or if I want to kick it out lateral,
Yeah, the reason I say one, we're putting 2 defensive tackles on the shoulders of the center. Put them in the A gap. Here we go. We're going to find out right here. Up the line of scrimmage, Kearley under center. They're going to try to get a long snap. Man in motion. Hands off to Kirkendall. He's got the first down up the middle. He gets across to the 33-yard line. It is a first down for Liberty Hill.
Hutto stripped the ball when he was on the ground. They're trying to make it like it was a fumble. It was not. He picked up the first down. Clock's running.
Here we go. First and 10 from the Hutto 33-yard line. 2:20 left to go in the game. And inside handoff to Harrison. He gets across the 25 down to the 22-yard line.
Harrison with that inside handoff. Those are the ones that he's been breaking and taking to the house. So these Hutto linebackers have seen it, dropped back, and made the tackle.
2nd and 1. No, it's another first down at the 23-yard line. Liberty Hill takes a snap, handoff to Kirkendall up the middle, barrels across the 20-yard line, down looks like to the 18. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. The clock is ticking. Still plenty of time for this offense.
Gang tackle by the Hutto defense led by Jacob Berry.
They're getting the play calls in quickly. Ball's on the 18-yard line. And as a handoff to Harrison, right hand side across the 15, across the 10, down to the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 6.
Tim, over and over and over. This Liberty Hill team coming up quick and just pounding this Hutto defense. And right now they don't have an answer.
Ball's on the 6-yard line. It is first and goal. 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go in this contest. Liberty Hill needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Ball's on the right-hand hash. Kearley under center. Takes the snap. Hands off to Gonzalez. Right-hand side. And he gets down to the 2. They're going to mark him down to the 3.
Absolutely stood up by number 12, Jared Herrick again. He is having a ball game over there on the defensive side.
2nd and goal from the, now they marked it back closer to the 4. It really did look like he got to the 3, so it's close. 1 minute left in this contest. Kearley under center. Harrison in motion right-hand side. Pitch out to Harrison. Cut back inside. And he's short of the goal. His feet got in, but the ball did not. He is just inches from the goal line. They have plenty of time to get 2 plays off if they hustle up.
What a tackle to keep the ball out of the end zone.
40 seconds left.
Half of Kirkendall was in the end zone. The only thing that wasn't was the ball.
Ball's at the 1-yard line. It's 3rd down. Now it's 30 seconds left. Kearley under center. Man in motion right inside. He's going to punch it in himself. And it's a touchdown for the quarterback. Kearley punches it in. Touchdown Panthers. They're going to be down by 2.
45-43, 23 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Liberty Hill does what it needs to do. Defense turns them over. Offense puts it in the end zone. Tim, barn burner. And we have a 2-point conversion to decide if this one's going to go into overtime.
It is timeout, Hutto. 23 seconds left, but that's really almost irrelevant at this point, the 23 seconds. What is relevant is Hutto leads by 2. Liberty Hill just scored on a quarterback keeper play from 1 yard by Jacob Kearley, and it is now 2 points difference. Liberty Hill is going in their playbook. Kearley drove his legs in to get into that end zone.
Jimmy, have 2-point conversion plays that you absolutely love, right? That you've been working on all summer. Yep. You got them dialed up. You know what the 2-point conversion is. They're ready to call it like 2-point conversion play A, B, or C, unless the coaches see something that they want to run.
I think it could be based on the successes or not tonight, but we'll see. But you're right. They've been working on them. And here we go. This is the ball game. 45-43, the extra point conversion for 2 points for Liberty Hill, trying to tie this game up. They're up to the line of scrimmage. Kelly pitches it out to Gonzalez, right inside. He cuts inside, and he's shot. They call it a touchdown. He's in. He's in for the 2-point conversion. Wow, that was close.
Tim, I didn't think he made it.
Oh, neither.
A host of Hippos caught him at the goal line, and he pushed through.
Wow.
Tim, that's nothing but 1-2 and try hard right at the goal line.
What are you leaving for? It's tied up.
Where are people going?
I don't know, Greg. There's people in the parking lot, and this game just got tied.
45-45. The two number 4 teams in the state representing 4A and 5A. Craig Wade.
Called it. Called it. Wow, Greg. What a game. What a game. Now, they're definitely not going to kick this ball deep. I got a slew of more people that have messaged in, and I'm hoping they haven't left the game from home.
Goodness gracious.
Travis Hawthorne is Chef Hawthorne and family from Liberty Hill High School culinary instructor listening in here from his house there in Joppa. Couldn't make it to the game tonight. Thank you. Jesse Cousins. I know Jesse. Jesse and Kirsten Cousins listening from their home in Burnett. They're not Bulldog fans. Once a Panther, always a Panther. I'll get to the other ones here in a moment. The kickoff is set, and they're going to kick it deep. Oh, he's just going to kick it, out of the end zone, and it's going to be down. So Hutto's not, they're going to, 20 seconds, man. They've scored from 60 yards away. They're going to get this done.
We've seen them score. We've seen them score in 15 seconds or less. They have 2 timeouts. Well, I think they just have 1 timeout left.
Yeah. Yeah, so here we go. Hutto's out. Their offense is out on the field, and, if you're the Panthers, you're going to play loose. You're going to get man-to-man coverage, and I think they're going to try to get a guy out on the island. What are they doing?
They're playing it safe.
Oh, they're going to take a knee, and then we're going to go to OT.
They're playing for overtime, Tim.
I'm actually a little surprised.
Well, the last play that they tried to play it safe, Tim.
Yep.
They turned it over.
Yep.
They decided they're going to come in and play for halftime.
And we're going to overtime. We've never called an overtime game.
It's our first overtime game.
Our first overtime game. Our first overtime game. Hey, got to give another couple shout-outs. Jacob Covington at Army Football Updated, class of 2015. Thank you, Jacob Covington, for listening in tonight. I appreciate it. Another special shout-out for Chris Hamilton sending in for her 5th grader, Aiden Hamilton, number 13. Play hard tomorrow and beat Smithson Valley in Liberty Hill Youth Football. And here's one for you. I'm supposed to give you a big smooch on the cheek, okay? Jennifer Ceriti listening in from Austin. Y'all are doing a great job. Happy the pair of you are back again. Got the band back together again.
That's the missus.
Yes. Yes, that's Greg Ceriti's wife. So, I didn't know she never listened.
I didn't even pay her anything at all to do that.
No.
She did that all on her own.
That's awesome. She's listening to you didn't text her nothing?
She's been helping me. She just told me to update the score about a half ago. So.
You got another QA person. Rather put it on payroll. Man. Greg, what a great game tonight, man. This is... And you know what? It is going to be first one to 50.
Unless it's a field goal. Unless it's a field goal, maybe you could have it. But you're probably right. A lot of times when you get in these games and you talk about these kind of games, number 4 versus number 4, 2 top 5 ranked teams in the state, a lot of hype. You talk about guys saying it's going to be the biggest game of the week and this and that. A lot of times it doesn't live up to the reputation. This one has exceeded it.
Oh my gosh!
This game here really has gone a little further than we had expected, 45-45, and nobody backing down an inch.
What are they leaving for?
I have no idea.
We're looking over the fence and seeing people leaving. You just want to, like, scream and yell at them. What are you doing? This is the best part of the game. It's what you come for. They got a school night. It's not a school night.
I can't tell you why, Tim. I really can't tell you why. But with the ball game, with Hutto having the ball, up 8 on the 20-yard line or 25-yard line.
Yeah.
You think this game's over?
I think it's a bad.
You think this game's over?
I told you
said it before.
They should have done it.
You absolutely did. You said they were going to run it. They were going to do something that they haven't done all game, and they were going to try to run the clock out. And in hindsight, you're right, Tim. You're absolutely right. Had they done that, had they just handed it off to either the running back, or they tried to run that short pass that had been working for them all night. But credit this Liberty Hill defense for making a play. Making a play when they need to.
Well, it is overtime, and Hutto has the ball first. And the way this is going to work is both teams are going to have a chance at possession here. And Hutto's got the ball first so whatever they do, 4 downs, field goal, touchdown, Liberty has a chance to match it or surpass it. And here we go, Chase Griffin. The ball is at the 25-yard line. 2 wideouts on both sides of the formation. Man in motion, right-hand side. They throw it out to Chucks on the outside. He's going to use his dancing feet. He gets tackled, brought down about the 20-yard line, a pickup of 5, make it 2nd and 5 yards.
The exact play that they ran when they were up in the ball game there. That's the kind of safe play that they've been running, and it's been successful for them all night.
We don't have to worry about a clock here other than the play clock, so there's no game clock going on. This is overtime. The game is tied at 45. Hutto with the ball at the 20. Man in motion. That's Forrest. They hand off to him left-hand side. Going to let his athleticism try to take over. Liberty Hill strings him out pretty good. He's going to be short of the first down, I think, at the 16-yard line.
Haven't seen the ball in his hands on a run all night.
Nope.
But, Tim, you hit it on the head. They're just trying to get the ball in their athletes' hands and let them see if they can make a play.
3rd down. A big play for both teams. Liberty Hill gets a stop here. They force a 4th down, but look for something short. High percentage completion pass coming from Hutto. Things that have been working for them all night long. They need to go to their bread and butter here. Man in motion, left-hand side, makes trips on the left. They're looking right, throwing a middle screen pass to Forrest, and it's complete, but he's hit hard. Where's the spot? He's got enough for the first down, and it was very close at the 15-yard line, but as long as the ball is sitting on that line, it's a first down.
Forward progress, gave him the first down.
He came close to not picking that up.
He really did. Gang tackle across the middle of the field there by.
Yeah. That's a pretty good defensive play, though, by the Panthers.
Absolutely.
It's 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. We are in overtime, tied at 45. Trips, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Snap is back, he's looking left. He's throwing a fade route on the right, left-hand side, and it's in and out of the hands of the receiver. It's incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Baptiste would have had to make the play. It would have been the catch of the game had he saved for Forrest in that first half. But that would have been a great play. Griffin put it on a dime.
The defender was step to step with him pretty much the whole way. 2nd down and 10 from the Liberty Hill 15-yard line. We are in overtime, tied at 45. Looking right, throws right, throwing to Forrest, and he catches the ball. Oh my gosh, a great catch at the goal line for a touchdown.
Well, we've had someone get to 50.
We have got someone to 50, you're right.
On an amazing catch.
And here's they're teeing up for the extra point, which is what you're supposed to do. Going for the 1. And Liberty Hill, this guy on the left-hand side's been close a couple of times to blocking this kick. Not that time. The ball is up, and it is good. And Hutto now leads in overtime 52-45.
Well, not surprising, you're going to see a steady diet of Griffin throwing the ball.
Yep, they're the Caleb Force is a really top receiver.
One of the best receivers we've ever seen.
I'm telling you, he catches thing, and he caught that one with the defensive back basically hanging on him.
Draped on him.
Yep, and that was a great catch. The defender for Liberty Hill, let me just make this clear, had him played well.
Mm-hmm.
And so the defender for Liberty Hill was in his hip pocket. Caleb Force just made an outstanding catch.
Yep.
Here we go, Liberty Hill's offense. Kearley takes a snap, hands up the middle. There's a flag on the play. Harrison carrying, picks up 9, but there's a flag on the play. And do they get called for that illegal formation or that?
I think
no, they're pointing at defense. They are.
Yeah, they haven't gotten called for that play in
Do they decline it since it's going to be 2nd and 1?
Absolutely.
Yep. You got to take the yardage.
Yeah.
You got 3 plays to pick that thing up. You know, the Hutto side has thinned out some. They were packed. Here we go. 2nd and 1 from the 16-yard line. Kearley takes a snap, hands off to Gonzalez, left inside. He cuts back inside, gets across the 10, close to the 9, I believe. They're going to call him down at the 10. Here we are, same situation. You need a touchdown and 2 points. Or do you go, I don't know. Let's get the touchdown first.
Tim, you're absolutely going to play for a second overtime. I don't think you're going to try to go for 2.
Well, they got to get it in. They're 1st and goal from the 10, and it's handoff to Harrison, no gain.
Yeah, don't break the cardinal rule of broadcasting.
Yep.
Number 10, Harrison, ball carrier.
Which you don't feed the animals. It is 2nd and goal from the 10. Plays being brought in. Justice Wise. Here we go. Kearley takes a snap, hands off, right-hand side. Another flag on the play. Gonzalez has crossed the 5, thrown out of bounds, but there's another flag on the play. I think this is holding.
Gonzalez, the ball carrier, flag on the play.
And it's going to be holding. I want to give a shout-out to my sister who's listening. She's listening from Huntington, Texas. You know where that's at?
Somewhere in Texas.
East Texas, Lufkin area, if you know where that's at. Nacogdoches. You probably don't even know where that's at. Thanks to my sister for listening. We got them from all over the place. Deep East Texas, Angleton. Thanks for all the listeners listening in tonight. I really appreciate it. I pass it along to the folks that pay the bills. Here we go. 2nd and goal. Ball's at the 15-yard line. It is kept by the quarterback. Gets to the 10-yard line. Kearley keeps it. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 10.
2 plays to get 10 yards. You figure you might have to put it in the air one time if you don't get it, so do you put it in the air here?
Here we go. 3rd and goal from the 10. Man in motion, right-hand side. It's a pitch wide to Harrison. He's got a lane. He dives and he gets in the end zone for a touchdown.
Great run by Harrison off the right side, and he saw that goal line, saw the pylon, and dove, put the ball out in front, clipped that pylon, Tim. 6 on the board.
Can't be a better high school football game tonight anywhere in the state of Texas if there is.
Tim, we might go nationwide with this.
Man. Shout out to our man Craig Way for calling this game the game of the week in Central Texas. Here they go for the win. 2-point conversions. Liberty Hill's down 52-51. They're going for 2. Hutto's going to call a timeout. Wow.
Tim.
Yes.
Number 4 in the state versus number 4 in the
Holy
state.
cow.
5A versus 4A. You're down.
Holy cow.
1 point, 52-51. And they're going to dial it up and try to push it in right here.
Yes, you are. You're on their territory. This is your best shot to win the game right here. 3 yards, right? Listen, 3 yards, you win the game. 3 yards every play, you score a touchdown. 3 yards, they win this game tonight. It's a big play. Hutto has done really good stopping the run, doing a pretty good job in the second half most of the time, and Liberty Hill is, you just never know what they're going to do. Do you have an OT on that button there, Sariti?
My wife called in.
Oh, you do?
Told me to put the OT up.
I didn't know you had an OT.
How about that? KMAX Sports, Vype Media, hooking us up.
Man, bam.
Able to do the scores and broadcast this unbelievable Central Texas high school football game tonight. Thanks again for tuning in.
Yep.
You've enjoyed a good one.
Yep.
And it's about to come to a close here. Is there a loser tonight, Tim? Is there really?
Those people that left. Those people right there. Those brake lights right there. All those people. Here we go. Up to the line of scrimmage they go for needing 2 to win the game. Curley under center. Hard count. Man in motion left-hand side. They're going to hand it off to the right-hand side, and they're going to be short. It is no good, and Hutto is going to win this game by 1 point. 52 to 51.
Tim, what a ball game. These Liberty Hill Panthers can hold their heads high, walk off this field as playing just a heck of a ball game here.
Yep.
I do, credit all to these Hutto Hippos for coming out of here. You said first one to 50, right. Tim. You hit it right on the money.
That's right. And it was the first one. They both got to 50. Man, did Craig Way call that one?
Wow. What a ball game.
It is an amazing game. And thank you for all the listeners. And Chuck Licata, if you're listening right now, I got a lot of responses from the email that I sent out and had a lot of listeners listening in and sending us messages. Fantastic job doing that tonight. An incredible game. One of the, as many years as I've been calling the Liberty Hill games, this is one of the best games and a really great, exciting finish. As one of the top 10 easily final finishes in games that I've done. This was an incredible game by 2 awesome football teams.
You just have to get hats off to these guys at the end of the game, and just the grit, the fortitude, just how hard they played and how bad both teams wanted it. And these coaching staff is battling all night. And it came down to one play at the end, and literally, Tim, a half yard short from upsetting the 5A team.
It was an incredible game. Liberty Hill, a lot of people may have not have thought that they could hang with these kids tonight, but boy, did they hang with these kids and actually had a shot to win it right there at the game. They 1 yard short from winning this game. An incredible job. Liberty Hill did a fantastic job. We're going to take a quick break and be right back to wrap this up. And you're listening to the KMAX Sports Vype Media Network.
Most comprehensive high school sports media outlet covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at VypeTexas.com and also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end zone. Snap again, he hits the turf, and Devon scoops it up. Cameron Wilkins goes on the end zone.
10-5, touchdown.
We are the largest, we are the best, bringing your teams to you. We've been doing it for 15 years.
He's got blockers in front of him. Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir. It's what we do, and nobody does it better. We are KMAX Sports.
Back here in post-game with the Liberty Hill Panthers and Hutto Hippos. Hutto winning this game by 1 point. Greg, I can't read it enough. Liberty Hill played a really good game. They had some good defensive stops. They knew that they had to get into a shootout with these guys. They couldn't stop Hutto all night long. There were times where they made a stop, but Hutto had so many athletes on the field and was able to score a lot of points. But man, these kids, Hutto couldn't stop Liberty Hill most of the time. There was a stretch there in the second half where they stopped Liberty Hill twice in their drives. One where you had the little penalty down there, little jump, illegal procedure, and it cost them to kick them back. And if they had gotten that first down, it might have changed everything, because at that time Liberty Hill had the momentum.
Yeah. It really was a game of momentum, quick momentum changes, because everybody all the offenses were really just running right down the field, and you really thought the game was in Hutto's hands for sure on the turnover.
Right.
But then they come back, they make the turnover. It's just a great high school football game, and you see the guys out there shaking hands and
right.
What a Tim. What a ball game!
It was a great game, and if they're this was a fantastic game. I'm glad we were able to do this game. And folks, I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. I know a lot of you probably have tuned out after the game's over with, but if you're still listening, again, thank you for listening to the KMAX Sports broadcast. We've got some games that still need to be covered that we're short on funding. I made that announcement a little bit earlier, and with that email that I gave out, you can send me an email that might be a little bit easier. It's Liberty Hill Football 18 at yahoo.com. Liberty Hill Football 18 at yahoo.com. Send me an email that you might know someone that may be interested in helping fund the other 3 games that we need to get funded this year, because in 2 weeks we're not calling the game. All you guys that sent in messages tonight, you're not going to get to listen to the game in 2 weeks if we can't get these games funded. So hopefully some businesses in the community can step up and get their name out there and get some advertisement along the way, because we'd love to have you on board.
Tim, you'll do a live read, won't you? You'll do a live read for a
business. Yeah, absolutely. I will. I'll put a tutu on for advertisement. They can't see me do that, right? So
I might take a picture of that.
I'll be happy. I'll tweet. We can tweet it out. So we could do that. So if you know anybody that might be able to help out get these broadcasts on the air, please let us know, because Greg and I don't want to miss games like this, right? You guys don't want to miss games like this. If this game wasn't broadcasted tonight, you wouldn't be able to hear that finish. You wouldn't know what's happening until your friend texts you or you read it on a tweet. You can't feel the excitement of how this game's going to end or what happened during this game. So please, if you know of any businesses or individuals in the community that might be able to help up and help out and fund the rest of the broadcast for the year, send me an email and I'll get it to Chuck Licata. If you know of someone, you can send me an email at Liberty Hill Football 18 at yahoo.com. I had a blast tonight, Greg. I don't know about you. The evening wasn't too hot. It actually wasn't too bad at the top of here at the bleachers, so really had a great time. And so any final thoughts on this game? Got another big game against Manor next week.
Well, yeah, this game is going to come back to serve this team well later on down in the year. And you heard Coach Walker talk about that. You're coming into these games against some really good opponents. And now when you get into district, hopefully get into playoffs, you come back to these situations right here. And it's something that you can draw on to really push forward when you're going to need it. This experience is invaluable for a team like Liberty Hill. For Hutto too. They came out on top, but now they got to see a team that ran this type of run offense. Should they see it again in the future, going to serve them well. Lived up to the hype. You have to feel like this really was one of the best games in the state of Texas tonight.
Absolutely, it was, and I'm excited to be able to be in here and call this game. So thanks you all that listening. I hope you tune in next week. We're going to be calling the game when Liberty Hill is back on the road playing Manor next week. Tune in next week, and we're going to try to get some more shout-outs on the radio. Tell all your friends and family that you're listening to the game on KMAX Sports. You need them to listen to the game again next week, because this is exciting football. These kids are playing hard, and this is a really good football team.
Absolutely, Tim. And next week, they're going to be ready to run again.
Yes, we are. So I'm not going to run. I'm not running anywhere.
They're going to run.
They're going to run. Yeah, I'm not running anywhere. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and all the listeners. Liberty Hill comes up a little short in overtime by 1 point, but an incredible game. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to KMAX Sports on the Vype Media Network. See